Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Show number 513.
Hey everybody, it is a Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan and Sam and Travis and John Busdecker's
What
here.
was the pause there?
Well, you're not a full cast member.
No, that's true.
I mean, you're close. I mean, I guess to be quite honest with you, I'd have to know if you want it bad enough.
What is that? Wait, what do I have to do to want it?
Oh, run the gauntlet.
Suck my dick.
I mean, put that on the list. But that was, I mean, it was either I was going to say it or you were going to say it. And I bet Bus can suck a good dick. Because you know why? You know why Bus can suck a good dick? Because he's got a big dick.
So he knows how to handle it.
He knows how to handle it. I mean, this guy's got a fucking monster in his pants. Everybody knows you got a fucking... Everybody knows you got a piece.
Every nerd.
How does everybody know this?
Because you're tall.
Tall, lanky nerds. Big dong.
Oh, this guy's dong.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
bet
yeah.
it's smooth piece.
Yeah, like.
I don't know. He's got a hairy chest.
You do?
Not really. Just
Let me
a
see your
little
chest.
bit. Just
He had like 3 buttons
Like a
unbuttoned on the
little bit,
cruise,
just a
and his
little
hair was
bit.
big.
Oh, that's hairy.
This guy's
Not over-
testosterone's
but not
crazy.
over
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
But
Oh,
not
this
over
guy's
here,
dog.
though.
He might have the biggest dick in Orlando because
Because
he's got the testosterone.
There's a lot of magic
White
players.
dick. Biggest white dick.
Okay, biggest white dick. I'm for that.
Yeah, you're like Orlando's white Dominique Wilkins. I saw Dominique Wilkins.
Chris Mullins.
I saw
There he
Dominique Wilkins when in his twilight years. He played for the Orlando Magic,
Yeah.
and I got to go in the locker room with Drew Garabo and actually interview him. And that gentleman's dick fell out of his towel, and I was like, "Whoa!" I'd never seen anything like it before. And there's a reason he won the dunk competition in I think the '80s, 90s. I might be wrong on that, but there's a reason, and it's because his dick could have lifted him to the heavens.
Carrot Top has a big dick too.
He shows
I've
it on
heard about it
Instagram.
on Two Wife Crew.
He shows it on Instagram all the time.
Yeah. That's
He
a
did-
recent thing.
He
Right?
did a video where he had sweatpants and he comes dancing to like David Bowie or something, and this big veiner is just flopping in his pants. And I've seen it live because I've been in a hot tub with him
They're
nude.
tight sweatpants, so you could see
Yeah.
the bell end impression and stuff. Where he knew that was happening. It wasn't a mistake. Then he referenced it at the end, and we were like, "That's kind of odd."
Yeah, like in his hashtags,
Why
he
did he
was
do
like,
that?
Hashtag say hello to my little friend.
Ah.
Yeah, he's like making jokes. Or he was like hashtag big veiner or something like that.
But he isn't he is not known for doing this, so it seems like he all of a sudden. I mean, Carrot Top's a super nice guy, and
Seems
I don't
like
know,
he's freaking out a little bit.
he doesn't need to. He's Carrot Top. He's a multi-millionaire. He's
Super funny, super nice.
No
reason to show your veiner.
Yeah. I don't think he's lacking for girls to want to be with him, right?
I don't know. Is he married?
No, I don't think so.
No, he's
But
not married.
I met his girlfriend one time. She's very nice.
He's
Yeah.
a little
Sweet.
Pennywise-like, though,
He's
isn't he? He's
odd
a little,
looking.
Yeah, he's a little scary.
Yeah,
think
but
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could say that about anybody, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the
Good,
fact-
but I mean,
But he really does look a little scary.
But you're a famous millionaire with a good physique. Whether you look odd or not, I don't think that's going to hinder you from getting as much girls as you want,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that
I don't know.
does he do
Dude,
it
there was
because...
we went backstage and went to his green room, and there was a very, very attractive. There was
there were like
multiple
4
attractive
or
women.
5 12s in the room.
yeah, like just hanging
Yeah.
around.
And he kicked them all out because he's like, oh, if we're going to record, we need it quiet.
Yeah.
So he kicked all these hot
didn't-
models out of there.
It did not seem like he was lacking the pee.
But I know that...
Plus, what size shoe do you wear? The chat room wants to know.
Well, the pair I have on right now, they're 13s.
All right.
God damn.
Big old 13.
Big old, you know what I'm wearing?
My
You know what I'm wearing?
Baby 13s.
7.5. A fucking 7.5.
But wide 7.
Oh, it's the tuna can dance shoe.
It's as wide as a
Wide
7.
width.
No,
it's 7 by 7.
It's actually
It's a fucking square.
It's actually wider than it is lengthwise. It looks like I have my shoes on sideways.
Tuna can
Everybody's
dance.
like,
Like a Lego man.
like your feet are fucked up. Why are you standing like a duck? Oh my God, the FedEx man's here. You can come in. We're just live on the show right now. Sorry, man.
What do we got
I got to
here?
sign for my wife's Apple Watch. Can you sign for
Is
me?
that what
Tom?
that is?
Yeah, she got a replacement. She blew her Apple Watch blew up. The battery got swollen and exploded.
On her hand while she was wearing it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
My fossil watch has
Tom
never
Hanks.
done that.
Thank you, man.
problem.
Cheers. Take care.
I'll
We got to start locking the doors.
No, wait, we wouldn't have
We
been able
did lock the
to.
doors.
No, we wouldn't have been able to sign for that. That one required a signature.
I like. I'll reference Mitch Hedberg joke that I like FedEx drivers because they're drug dealers and they don't even know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
Yeah.
They know it.
So anyway, this is not drugs, by the way. It's an Apple Watch.
Hey, welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out with us. Are we gonna do our shot now? You want to do that now?
All right.
I don't really have any music for
Oh,
it.
real quick, we got another
Find
sale,
something.
another merch sale going on. We got BDM shirts for $15.
Yeah.
Whatever the $10 deal.
That's
Those
over.
are still, no,
Oh.
there's still those. I think there's
so-
still some $10 ones,
I
but
thought-
these are different. These are the BDM shirts.
Yeah, these are the newest BDM shirts. We dropped them for $15 for over the weekend. If you want to grab those, I know that Eric, our merch guy, is throwing in extras to every order. So because we have some one-size-fits-all stuff and koozies and magnet and a bunch of stuff, he's going to throw them in there as surprises. I know people have ordered a shit ton of $10 shirts last weekend, and
Yeah.
and I saw the extras that they got. So it's pretty cool stuff.
All right, you guys ready? Here we go. You got your toast ready? All right, let me put the echo on. A little, here we go.
All right. Too much work and no vacation deserves at least a small libation. So hail, my friends, and raise your glasses. Works the curse of the working class.
All right.
Oh,
What are we drinking today?
Rock and roll 90210. This is St. Augustine Distilleries. This is their small single batch whiskey.
All right.
Yeah, this is their big boy.
Yeah. And the
I'm playing a reggae song called "Everybody Farts." By the way, I'm just gonna
is that what it is?
fade that out because that was horrible. All right, let's try this.
Pretty good.
ooh, I like that.
That's good.
Strong.
That's good.
It is strong.
It is strong, but it has a very good finish to it. Oh my God, I feel like Superman right now.
I was gonna say.
yeah.
Pull your big dick out.
I was gonna say.
I shouldn't have said that.
One more.
Cut that part out.
Yeah. One more of those, and I might suck off bus. Wow.
Suck off the bus. Suck off the bus.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I was started to think last night, and I made a BDM post about. I was asking. My question was: is there anybody in here that's successful but hasn't worked
Oh,
hard
I saw that. Yeah.
to get
So
there?
like rich but doesn't have a hard job, or
It was kind of a hard question and very confusing based on all
Like
the
most of
responses.
your
Yeah.
questions?
Because I don't mean like didn't inherit or like he wasn't given anything. That doesn't count. Like because
Okay.
there's plenty of people that inherited stuff or
so you just
was
happened
given-
upon a job that
yeah like
pays a lot of money, but you don't really do much. Like
yeah, like I was curious to. Oh, and this all started when I'm now that I have sons, I'm trying to.
Trying to figure out how they can do the least amount of work and
No,
make
no.
the most amount of
well,
money.
that's true. He doesn't let them walk. He's always got them in a wagon.
yeah, that's bad for them.
They don't go outside without sunglasses.
What
Well,
I'm
that's because they're just cool.
what I'm worried about is just teaching them the normal cliches that everybody gets taught, and I'm trying to second guess cliches or
It's a Monday,
attitudes.
am I right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stuff like that.
Or just not even that, but just like for instance, I thought about this. It's like how everybody says, and your parents say, like you can be anything you want to be, as long as you work for it or whatever it is.
Yes.
Like, and I started thinking about that, and like, well, that seems like good advice. But is that true advice? Because I don't want to just start feeding my sons full of bullshit. If I'd rather them know the real.
I feel like now more than ever, you can kind of be whatever you want to be if you put yourself in the position to do that. Like, you know.
Is that?
No, you can't be whatever you want.
No?
Well, that's the thing. Like all of us here,
what
besides
could you not be that
Bustecker,
you'd want to be?
Who?
Like,
Are you talking about my daughter?
Yeah.
President. She can't be president.
Why not?
Because
she could be
just
president.
ain't gonna fucking happen.
No, she could be president.
Yeah.
No, it's the same
Donald Trump
thing.
has changed that, and
Yeah.
now
No.
that's opened it up. I
No.
used to say the same thing on my
You
sons.
really think we're going to elect a female president?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
No,
it's like
come
that
on.
guy on CNN that was like the gay guy that says his hat. He threw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen.
Pete something.
No, that could
they
happen.
have-
I
mean, they
want
have-
him. Look, I'm not saying I'm
Look.
anti it at all. I'm not. It's
They
just
will.
not
They-
going to happen.
Hillary
Yes, there
Clinton
will
won the
be.
popular vote, so it's I know it doesn't.
Hey.
But I'm just saying, like,
Benghazi!
it's not like she lost by a landslide or something. You know what I'm saying? I guess in the electoral college she did, but that just shows you that it could happen. Whether or not it's going to be in the next 10 years or next 20 years, I do think that will happen.
Maisie for president.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
wouldn't vote for
When
him.
did she turn 35?
now. Could she be in the NFL? No, I don't. None
She
of us
could
could.
be, she could be a
Well,
kicker, maybe.
What if she decides to
don't know.
transition to be a male?
And then be a kicker in the NFL? Maybe.
I mean,
Anything's possible now, right?
I mean, I will support her in any way. And if she wanted to transition and then kick footballs in the NFL,
Yeah.
I would be the proudest dad of a transgender kicker that you would ever find.
what I'm saying is that
Who would she play for?
Falcons, right?
she won't have the choice. It'll be whoever drafts her.
Whoever will draft her.
Yeah. Or she enters.
It's gonna
free
need somebody
agency,
that is. It's gonna be a team that needs some help because it's gonna be publicity surrounding it.
Yeah.
The Bucks give us something.
It's not gonna be. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good team though. So the Bucks, she might end up
Or the
local
Bills.
local
The Apollos.
girl, local girl transitions and then kicks for NFL team. Storied 11.
What I was trying to more think of is like, am I accurate by telling my sons? Like, as long as you work hard at something, you will be successful. Because then I started thinking, like, there's probably been a lot of people that work really hard and don't garner any success. Although is that right?
It depends on what you count as success, I think. So I think if you work hard, you will find success, but it might not be in the thing that you were
Right.
going toward.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like if you work hard to be like an actor and actress, but you suck at it.
Yeah,
You
that-
just don't have that talent.
But you might
then-
be able to teach it.
Barring,
Maybe.
I think entertainment industry and professional sports are the two categories that there's a lot of ability involved in those.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like you can't just work past, like none of us could have worked past to be in the NBA. Just we don't have the genetics, we don't have the skills, we don't have the hand-eye.
I'm in
we don't-
last place on that.
Yeah. So there's like
Boss is in first place again.
It doesn't matter with height. I mean, Muggsy Bogues was a
Wait, are you-
short
that was
guy.
a different
Are you
time.
honestly going to make the argument that height does not matter in the NBA?
Well, it
That's
does.
insane, Buzz.
Yeah.
But
But
it
there
totally
were-
does. You're
there
lean.
were-
How fast are you?
Isaiah
I'm
Thomas.
not very fast. That's the thing. I'm not very fast.
see, yeah.
You look like
Buster
a
doesn't have-
better looking Sean Bradley.
Okay.
You don't have the genetics to be in the
Probably
NBA.
not.
Yeah.
No.
Well, but barring that, can I say like besides professional sports and the entertainment industry, and even the entertainment industry is very broadened nowadays. It's
Yeah.
not like used to be just like movie star, TV star, whatever, like radio, and now it could be anything. You could be in the
Podcasters.
You could be podcasters. You could be a YouTube star, and it's a lot more achievable to garner like some sort of audience now than it used to be. But besides from that, can I tell them just work hard? It will come to you. Now the level of success, you're right, is subjective. Like, what does that mean? I kind of mean like I think we have a general idea of success. It's like, can you support yourself, support your family, and not constantly worry about money every second, or
Do core value, because those are like almost like core values, right? Or
yeah, that's what I'm
do
trying.
those alter? Like, will those alter? Like, have they altered? Like the core values of, let's say, Mama and Papa Van and Mama and Papa Dennis, have those? Like, if you lined those up and then lined what you and Crystal have, or me and my wife have, and you line them up, how different would they be? Because the same thing's going to happen with your boys and with my daughter, right? I mean, like, core values, what you do will change, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find like just a overall.
I feel like
piece
only
of advice.
now,
that
only
would
now do
work.
we do that.
Work hard is good advice.
Yeah, but like my
Right?
parents,
but
my
will
dad-
it guarantee success?
Here-
No,
here's
well,
here's
no.
my
guarantees
Nothing
success.
guarantees
but here's
success.
my point. My point is
The life
that
doesn't work in guarantees.
like only now do I feel like with the Gary V's and I'm trying to think of other inspirational YouTubers and stuff like that. There's a lot of these guys, Charlie Rocket. Like you've got these guys that their job is to motivate you to what Tom's saying. You can be anything you want to be. But my point is, with my mom and my dad, like they never sat me down and had sort of the conversation that you're having now about your boys. Like my dad told me to work hard, and I witnessed my father working hard.
right.
But they never sat me down and said like, here are
The
X,
ways-
Y, and Z to make yourself a good.
Me neither. No,
Now I don't know
no
if that's
one-
because I was already doing it. I would like to think that that's
You
the
probably
case.
learned it from watching your dad and mom.
Just like that commercial. I
Yeah,
learned
like
it from watching
doing
you.
drugs. Yeah.
But second, what
Yeah,
did you,
I watched
you
my
seem-
dad with curly hair and a mustache break into my room.
It looks like he's gonna make you a pizza
with his
first.
cigar box that had an old shake and some fucking glass in
I
there.
always thought it was heroin. Was he doing heroin?
No,
No, it was
it was
weed.
weed.
He was just smoking weed?
I gotta
Yeah.
pull it up.
I know
now.
the commercial.
But second, what did your parents tell you? Did they
think
say
I just-
follow your dreams? Because that's a weird one too. Because
Well-
I don't necessarily adhere to follow your dreams as
I'll
much.
tell you what,
'cause
so
that,
what
that
I-
could lead you in the wrong direction. Your
So-
dreams are your fucking bullshit.
Oh my God.
You tell your kids that your dreams are bullshit.
And dude,
This is going to come as a shock, but it's the only thing Tom's ever said on the show that I 100% agree with. You fuck your dreams. You know what? Shout out to Owen
Yeah.
from Ono Radio Show.
Hashtag fuck your dreams.
Yeah, hashtag fuck your dreams. Owen has been beating this drum for years, and he's correct. Fuck your dreams. They don't matter.
No,
and
not necessarily to everybody. A lot of people follow their dreams, and it's happened. I just don't know if that's the correct advice for everybody. As if you're looking for like a overall piece of advice to instill into
Here,
kids. I would rather work hard than follow your dreams.
Speaking
What
of
if you
dreams,
did both?
Here, check this out.
You want to see the drug commercial?
Yeah,
from
here's the
1980.
Let's go back to 1985.
I don't know how old it is.
It's yours?
No,
My mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
Closet of what?
look, Dad. It's
Where
not.
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me.
You can't even let him finish
Who
a
taught you how
sentence,
to do
Dad.
this stuff?
you all right? I learned it by watching you.
Yeah,
Parents
Dad.
who use drugs have children who use drugs.
I like how they got an old baker, an old
also not
chef
true.
at
looks
the
like-
end.
he looks like the
Like,
guy
who do
on
we
the-
need for a VO guy at the end of this commercial? Well, there is that old man that bakes baguettes on the court. Get him. Parents who use drugs.
Oh.
Like, what are you doing?
The guy looks like a guy on a pizza box.
Yeah.
Like he'd sell you a pizza.
Who taught you how to make the pie?
And I feel like
You made me.
it's
That guy ain't smoking pot. He doesn't look cool.
Yeah, that guy's not cool. That guy
Not
looks like
everybody
a,
smokes
That guy
pot.
looks like a fucking square. If you ask me.
like
That
a
guy's
stressed out
only thing that guy's
financial advisor.
smoking is dick.
But also, I like how the dad just shies away and like, ugh. And then like,
he's
fuck
like,
you, you're a kid. I'm allowed. When you become a stressed out an accountant, you can fucking smoke weed
When
too.
you- hey,
now
when
you're a kid.
Is that what you're going to say to yourself?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll be that guy. I'll be like, hey, when you make as many pizzas as I do every day, and I pay for your fucking Nintendo and the fucking Sega Genesis, then you can smoke in a pie.
What's the same? I mean, what's the difference between alcohol?
That's what I
Like,
would say.
If the kid was drinking booze, I would be
Yeah.
like, hey, you gotta wait. You know, you're fucking grounded or whatever. You know, it's
You sound
you
like a very
can't do
strict
this.
dad.
I'm an
you're
adult.
kind of grounded.
When you become an adult, you can then make your own decisions. But until then, you're
Yeah,
under my
why is
rules.
that guy such a pussy? You know, if you're I want you shut your goddamn mouth. Or you could take the cool dad approach, which I think Tom would do, and be like, fair enough. That's an excellent point. And go out back and blaze a J. Talk about titties. All right.
Did this situation happen to any of you guys growing up?
My mom and dad weren't those people.
Oh. It happened to my brother, and it did not end well with him.
What happened?
He found my brother's weed, which was dirt weed.
Yeah.
Destroyed everything. Threw it in the yard. and they had made a makeshift water bong, gravity bong, which I got the brunt of. My dad threw it, and the bong water got all over my jeans. I wasn't even smoking the weed.
Were you hiding underneath the coffee table as it's destroying?
No, I was standing outside. My dad was pissed.
You're saying that did not, curve him from doing drugs?
No.
What's funny is that I don't know how to do that now. I think that's probably, maybe this is too close to home. Maybe, we can't talk about it. Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. But I have my medical marijuana endorsement. I have it in my home. I have a kid.
You have a shirt on that has a pot.
Yeah, but it also says "Don't get stupid."
Oh,
everybody see that?
Listen, it's just. I mean, here's the. There's people that are prescribed opiates, and there's people that prescribed lots of different medications that you don't want your kid taking. So it's the same shit. It's like, hey, don't take my fucking Xanax that I got for anxiety or whatever. Don't take anything I'm taking.
Here was kind of
until you're prescribed to yourself. Yeah, you go and get your medical marijuana license, then
no, that was Andrea's take. Andrea's take is, my wife, she's smart, and she's like, yeah, it's your medicine, so put it with it with the medicine, right?
It'll be recreational 100% by the time our kids be 18. It'll be recreational nationwide.
You know how fun it's gonna be to
fucking 100%
weed with my daughter and fucking go to concerts and shit. Oh god,
but that's the thing. It's then you decide as a parent, when do you want to?
She's gonna want me there though. That's gonna be the bad part.
No. And then do you even want to do that? I don't want to even do that.
Go to a concert with my right now.
Not until they're older.
If I could have an 18-year-old daughter right now and go to see Billy Joel and smoke a joint, that'd be so fun, right?
Yeah, no? I think your ideas about that will change because 18-year-old Maisie won't seem like 18-year-old Maisie now.
From when I was born till now, never changed, not one time.
Because when she's 17, you're gonna be like, she's still a baby.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. I mean, my sons
and their brains are still growing.
I was this morning. I was cutting grapes in half to give
fuck that shit.
To give to my already.
You are the best dad.
I'm a bad dad. Whole grape?
No, he can.
His children are pussies.
I'm a bad dad.
They can't eat a whole grape.
I'm a bad dad because
no,
this
they
guy,
can. They
this
do
guy
all the time.
he rolls out the red carpet. He rolls out.
You think they're
gonna
choke on it?
I get scared that they could possibly
You're
choke.
pussifying your children.
I know. I'm a pussy. So believe me, as I'm cutting the grape, I'm like, well,
you know what's going to show them adversity? I'm going to cut their grapes.
I'm just saying, I lose track of how old they are, and I still look at them like they're young. And
so they're going to be 21. You're going to be cutting their grapes.
Oh, you're going to be that
in the house. I'll be giving them money.
You're going to be that embarrassing dad that still makes their lunch when they're 15.
I love my babies.
I love it though. I love it.
Don't take my babies.
I don't give him shit about that because I love it. I think it's funny.
You guys don't know.
Yeah.
I'll protect them forever.
I know.
I'll follow them in my truck behind everywhere they go. I'm like, oh shit, they're in trouble. Running. By that time, fucking diabetes got me.
I know I'm gonna get called. I know I'm gonna get called one night. I'm gonna be in bed and I'm gonna pick up the phone. And my wife's gonna be like, what is it? And I'm like, one of the boys. I gotta go help Tom. I know it'll happen, or vice versa. You might have to help me.
It's definitely gonna be Max.
I have to be my daughter. She's drunk. She hit somebody. You and I are out there. And hey, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, she hit somebody, and I'm gonna be like, remember the Sawzall? 40 years ago, I let you sawzall. And you're like, oh, do I know it? Use it every day. And I'm like, can you bring the Sawzall? We're gonna have to cut up this fucking homeless man my daughter hit downtown, and we're gonna have to you have to help me cut him up. We're gonna stuff him in different recycle bins all around the window. I'm like, all right, and I know you'll do it.
Recycling bins, you're gonna get busted.
And I know you'll do it.
Yeah.
No, I know enough people. Look, it's Tom and Dan Day. Buddy Dyer and I, I'll be looking.
What day is that again? Coming up?
Couldn't tell you.
April 17th.
April 17th?
27th?
Or 22nd?
Hey, can I?
It's right there.
Can I propose Can we do something crazy on that day? Can we do Can we drop merch down to I don't know, 50% on everything for 35 minutes or something.
What about a scavenger hunt around town? You put it around, people can go get it.
Not a bad idea. These are
April 17th.
You know what? Let's do this meeting on the air right now.
Yeah. We'll do something cool. Anyway, I know it's a ridiculous topic, but I was just trying to think of what would be that one piece of advice I could be like, hey, as long as you do this, most likely, and I think I keep going back to working hard.
Work ethic is something that should be emphasized.
Although, can that be learned? I know it can, but are you just ingrained, or like is that nature that like the people that have a drive or work ethic or whatever is just ingrained into them, at a young age?
No.
You think someone can be taught that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Because I know for sure if you don't have a work ethic, it's very, very difficult to be successful at anything.
Let's throw it out there. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. We're live right now. And if you're listening to this after the fact, every Friday you can watch our show live on Twitch. Throw something out there that was the best advice that your parents gave you. Juan threw out there, the advice is be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I have nice.
That's huge.
Jenna put be respectful.
But you know,
So
I think
I'll tell
that
you a quick thing. So my dad was a manager at a credit union for a long time, and he would hire employees and fire employees, and when a lot of times he'd hire tellers because that was kind of one of the main jobs that there was a lot of. And I remember talking with him.
I know what that
means. well, it's just one of those jobs you work for a while, and
high turnover.
Yes,
yeah.
And so
it's a hard job too, by the way.
Well, I remember seeing some of the applications, and people went to this school or that school, and I remember asking him, how do you decide, how do you pick who you're going to hire? And I remember he said this to me. I've never forgot this. He said, when I hire people, I try to hire good people because a lot of times I can teach them to do something. I can teach them to count money. I can teach them to run systems, but I can't teach somebody to be good. So if you hire good people, they'll be good people.
I like that
How
a lot.
do you know if they're good people?
I mean, I think when
just a general
you
sense.
can talk to. I think you can talk with somebody, and it's just like in any interview process. You get a sense of them. And
well, I'll toot our employees' horns for a second. I know for a fact that Butler and Samantha are both good people.
Yes. No,
like
I
having
agree.
them around here is
They got a 50% track record.
It outweighs me and Tom. We needed to bring some good into the company, or it wouldn't survive.
I have another one that I wrote down. I was jotting some stuff down. One about patience. I think patience is a virtue, and just because I was thinking
patience is a virtue.
Well, think about with Samantha, with her. We're not thinking about she's been with her for 6 years.
And I'm patient with her.
She's losing her patience with 100 Acre Hood.
No. But
don't bring it up.
I'm sorry.
She could have got impatient.
I don't get the shipment moving
a long time ago and just been like, "Fuck this! This is not going anywhere. I'm out."
That's a little bit of tenacity, though, right?
Yeah,
Where you stick it out, you work.
Yeah,
but
tenacity
you also,
is good one
I think
too.
both of you also, to toot your horns, I think you guys also believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because it's weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. Like, we have these discussions. It's got more real as of late than it ever has in here because there's a lot of good things happening, but we're all in this weird, uncharted territory as far as, what a company like this does. But the patience thing, being able to grind it out, being able to stick with something, I always admired the parents, and I don't know if I'm going to be one. I'm glad you mentioned this. We can dovetail into this, not to make it all about kids and stuff, but I think you can apply these type of things even if you don't have kids or, because sometimes I get the emails, you're talking about your kids. Blah, blah, blah. These are things that you can apply to anybody in any life. My wife signed my daughter up for soccer shots. So now my daughter's on a soccer team.
I thought I was drinking.
I wish.
I was like, "What are soccer shots?"
I might be drinking, but it's like a soccer program at her school, and two of her friends are in it. And she came home, and trust me, I heard it with my own ears. She said she wants to play soccer. And the funniest thing is, she goes, "I want to play soccer. Mommy, you have to sign some stuff." That's what she said.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, all right. If she's taking it, she didn't just say, "I want to play soccer," and then was clueless about it. She said, "I want to play soccer," and she said, "You have to sign some stuff." She understands the process of daddy stroking a check.
Yeah.
It's actually very cheap.
They don't like to walk or run.
No.
They gave up on soccer.
They also said, "Cut my grapes, slave." And I'm like, yes, sir.
But I'm worried about that because
God.
I admire the parents when their kids don't like something that they go, "Hey, you signed up for it. You better fucking do it." We're not the type of family that signs up for it and then we bail. We're not doing that. You signed up for it. I think it's 9 weeks, 10 weeks or something. It's like you signed up, you're doing all 10 weeks. There's no and if or buts.
No quitting.
Literally, I don't care. I don't like it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do it. Like,
Yeah,
and
you
I
want
don't,
it, yeah.
but I don't know if I'm going to be there. You
See,
know what
my
I mean? I don't know
parents
how I'm
were-
going to feel about this.
My
'cause I've
parents
never-
were
My
like
parents
that.
weren't like that. I mean, I mean, I don't think I ever quit anything, but
Yeah.
they were always just like, if you don't like something, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like
Hell no.
I didn't like Cub Scouts.
But
I
and
did
they
it for
paid
like
for it, and
they
they let you
probably
quit?
paid the year, and then I might have.
I'm-
I don't want to do this.
I'm
no
like
more.
it to bus sticker. My mom didn't make me do anything.
First of all, my parents never paid for anything, signed me up for anything. But if they had, you better fucking believe my ass would be there.
I didn't even have to go to school. I'd be like, I don't want to go to school. Mom was like, oh, that's fine, master.
Here are your cut grapes, sir.
I have a fucked up warp system.
Yeah, no, I had to. I remember my parents doing. I remember
yeah, if they're forking out money.
one in particular that I don't think my mom. Let's call her. I don't think she's ever forgiven me.
What'd you quit?
I mean, I don't remember quitting stuff, but I don't remember them being like, you have to go, or you're in trouble, or you're.
See, I wanted to quit baseball. My parents made me sit on the bench like until the season was
Oh,
over.
like a loser.
They were like, if you want to quit, you can quit, but you're going to quit at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson. I mean, we all kind of know.
Because you have
it's
to do
harder.
stuff you don't like sometimes,
Yeah,
you know?
No, that is
Hey,
true.
Mama,
Hey.
you're on the show. What's up?
Oh, hi.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How about y'all?
How's your knee feeling?
It's okay.
Mama tripped on her laptop cord and
no.
took a little spill. Yeah, but she's good. She just bruised her knee on the bad leg. Hey, so we're talking about like when you sign up as a kid or sign a kid up to do something, and then the ability to like teach them the lesson, even if they don't like it, that they should follow through. That they should stick with it because they signed up to do it, especially if mom and dad stroked a check. Yesterday, I signed up Maisie for soccer. She said she wanted to play soccer shots. So she is now, her and her two little friends are now on a team. And but I'm just afraid that she's not going to like it, and I'm going to have to force her to do it. And that brought me to talking about how you probably have never forgiven me for bailing on the final concert in Stetson's Children's Choir. I lied.
Yes, you did.
I lied to you. Did I not? I lied to you. And
Yes, you did.
And I went to my father's favorite seafood restaurant down the hatch, where he would get fried flounder, French fries. He'd get a garden salad with French on the side, and 2 bourbon and cokes tall. Every meal.
Yeah.
Every meal. Didn't change for 40 years. He ate that meal
Just
every
salt the flounder.
Friday. And he would salt that flounder crazy, wouldn't he, Mama?
Yep, he sure would.
So have you forgiven me for, kind of bailing on my obligation to the Stetson's Children's
Well, how'd you
Choir?
bail on it? Well, your dad let you bail on it, right?
I lied.
No, neither one of us knew.
I didn't tell him.
Oh, you didn't tell him.
I didn't
did
tell
you?
him about the concert. Okay, here's
Oh.
what happened. There was a final concert that was going on, and at this point in time, I'd been a soloist in the choir. I'd been in the choir for quite some time, but it was losing its cool factor, and everybody knows what it was like being a kid,
Yeah.
where you were doing something that, when you get into it, maybe you're in that adolescent years, and as you get older and you're into more like girls and rock music and drumming and stuff, kind of loses its luster a little bit. And
You were only 10.
Oh,
Ladies
Mama's coming in with a jam.
But I didn't tell you guys about it, and then I went to dinner with you guys, and then what happened?
We came back, and there was a Friendlies in DeLand then.
We had a Friendlies, the ice
And
cream
we
store.
stopped to get ice cream, and I saw all of the little uniforms
No.
for the children in
Busted.
the
Yeah.
choir.
Yeah.
And I looked at you and said, was there a performance tonight? And you said, yes. And I said, did you know about it or forget about it? And you said, no, I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, there you go.
And how did
I
that?
remember it well. I went home and cried.
Oh, you made her cry.
I did.
You got to go back and do that concert
Yes.
now.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah,
Get
with
your
the
little
kids.
uniform.
Yeah, in the same size. Don't even change it. I'll squeeze my fat muffin into. And did you ever get over that, or are you still pissed at me? I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean.
No, I did get over it, honey. I halfway understood that you felt it wasn't terribly masculine, and you were just.
I think when people look at me, they realize that I am the epitome of masculinity. Yeah. I mean,
You just weren't. You'd gotten tired of it. I
Yeah.
think that's. And your dad went to bat for you. 'cause
I don't
he, of
want him
course,
singing in
seemed-
no gay choir. No, he didn't say that.
Different time.
Wasn't that bad,
No, he
but
didn't
no,
say
it
that.
was
Yeah. Get over here, boy. Eat this flounder and don't be singing those fruity songs. No, he didn't say that. He did say he might.
no, but he did understand better than I did.
Yeah, because like it wasn't exactly the thing that if you were a young man growing up, it wasn't exactly like you weren't going to get teased about it. You know what I mean? So
No, and you had already started soccer, so you were really into that,
yeah.
and you were just done with choir.
So what would be your advice to me? Let's say Maisie gets 2 games into soccer and she decides she doesn't want to do it. Now, granted, she's also really young. She's only 3.
Yes.
Should I teach her the lesson and keep her in it? Is it case by case? Like, what advice would you give me?
I would probably say to try and encourage her, telling her that a lot of these things that she's going to want to do, you have to pay for. And when you pay for them and she doesn't finish them, you don't get your money back. And you feel like she should give it a really good try.
Yeah.
Make sure she doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Carol, is it bad I tell my sons, I'm paying for this? That's okay because I have unlimited money, so it doesn't matter. But just keep in mind that I'm paying for it. But it is unlimited, so there's that as well. Yeah.
No obligation here. No obligation, guys. Don't want to piss you off.
2 cut grapes. All right.
Oh my god.
So what's been going on,
I
Mom?
cut it twice in quarters because I'm afraid the long ones are gonna get stuck sideways.
My wife knows. My wife knows you always choke on the long one. Mom, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry I called you. I'm sorry that I let you down that day at Friendly's Ice Cream in DeLand.
That's okay.
No
honey.
longer there. It's a Sonny's Barbecue now.
Oh, I
Yeah,
liked Friendly's.
I have forgiven you. I have forgiven you.
Well, is there any other advice or anything else you'd like to say to the listeners? Because they certainly like it when we call you and we haven't checked in a minute. So is there anything else you'd like to tell them before we hang up
No,
with you?
just that I appreciate that they're listeners. That's wonderful.
Well, you are wonderful, Mama. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
How do you give I thought of another thing that has helped me probably more than, or helped me pass my downfalls that I have a lot of. And as I get older, it starts to show more. But the confidence. How do you teach your kids confidence? Or is that something that's, a nature
Damn, son,
thing?
that's an advanced question.
Well, I'm saying because
Heavy shit. I don't
in a
know.
weird thing, me and Daniel talk about this all the time. Daniel doesn't have confidence.
No, I have none.
And which is weird because
I have to fake it. I have to fabricate it. I got to pretend like I got it, but it's.
But don't you think everybody kind of fakes it and pretends?
No.
No?
No.
Yeah, there is some. Dude, I have way more confidence than I should. That is not.
That's true.
Yeah, if you ever
like
want
I'm
the truth,
confident.
just look at Sam. She'll just through facial expression, she'll tell you the truth.
Yeah. And for
Even
a
if
guy
she
that
doesn't want to rat us
tries
out.
to live in the world of logic, my extreme confidence is not logical at all because I.
He always speaks in absolutes, guarantees, and 100% about shit he knows nothing about.
And
he absolute 100% guarantees everything.
Yes.
You're right.
And there's no reason for it, and I can't go back and see any reason
He's also got
why.
serious because he took his hoodie off.
It's getting hot in here.
It's getting hot and cold, but it's so because I go back.
He has menopause, right?
Oh, it's
freaking
cold.
out.
It's yes and it's no.
Salt.
And
He's
Buzz
going
Lightyear,
through kratom withdrawal.
you got no, I don't. I fucking threw that shit away.
That's what I'm saying. You're going through withdrawal.
That was 5 days ago.
Starting to hit.
So anyway, Buster, you got confidence. You
I think so, but I think for me it's been a learned thing. I wouldn't say I've always been the way I am. Like, because I worked in television and I had to go in front of cameras, and then I had to learn how to be good on camera. But for me, it's been practice.
Maybe it's because I have the lack. Like one of my downfalls caused a good thing in the fact that I can't tell anybody no, and I just do anything that anybody
I'm like
asks
that
me
too.
to.
I say yes to a lot of stuff.
So then by doing these things that I didn't even want to do, and then I just did it because I was saying no or trying to get out of it was worse to me than actually doing the thing. That by doing a bunch of these things gave me confidence confidence, throughout my life. Maybe that's it. I don't
From
know.
the chat room, we've got some people checking in. We've got Everybody Fakes It. That's from Pyro of the Caribbean. We've got
not everybody.
No.
When I tell you guys things, I truly
Yeah.
believe
Well,
it.
no, there's people that are really
I'm not
confident.
faking it.
EJ trying to fuck with you in our Twitch chat room. He says dumb people have an abundance of confidence.
That's not necessarily wrong.
Yeah,
it's true. And
But not all confident
Tactical
people are
Hat
dumb.
says best thing for confidence is alcohol. My wife said we are making Maisie order her own food and talk to adults and hope that will build confidence. That's true. If we go to a restaurant, I make her order her own food. I make her say please. I make her say thank you. If she doesn't, then I'm like, well, I guess you're not getting food.
One of my questions was going to be, don't you think that making your child be a little more independent and doing things for themselves will build their confidence?
That's true.
But you're over here cutting their fucking grapes.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna feel confident in themselves if everyone's doing everything for them.
No, I know.
Or just let them cut their grapes.
Yeah.
With a big sharp knife.
Nah, kids can use them. They got kid knives.
They don't even want that. I'm just
But that's
doing
what I'm
it because
saying.
I'm
That could be
scared
a
of
way
them.
to build their confidence.
Choking.
Start giving them little things to do on their own, so that they're proud of what they're doing.
Can they climb a tree?
No, they
Too
climb
small.
nothing.
Too small. Yeah.
All right. Will you let them climb a tree?
I'll let them do anything. That's the thing. I don't give a shit
Except
what they
eat a
do.
grape.
And I think
whole grape.
there's a little bit of me exaggerating a lot of stuff.
It's not as bad as you think. But there are little things that we all do. It's easy to. When you're that connected, of course you're going to do something that other people can look at and they can go like, well, why the fuck are you doing that? Like at some point, I don't even think you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I'm doing it.
I will say
overly concerned.
My two sons are really well behaved, and every single person that has ever watched them or whatever. We had a babysitter that was a couple weeks ago, and they're like,
Pause for 1 second.
"What?
Because GarageBand just shit out.
No shit, really?
Yeah, it's okay.
No, that's all right.
It's okay.
How long?
Just
I guess
when
it doesn't
I was
matter.
watching.
I don't know. I just want to catch your. I don't want you to tell your thought without me being able to reset this.
No, it's all good.
I'll have to steal that from.
I was gonna go to break anyway. This is.
That's true. We're almost at an hour.
Yeah. What minute were we at?
Probably around 47
Okay.
ish.
Motherfucker! It only happens every once in a while. And 3, 2.
We should go to break because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So
Let's do it.
let's take a quick break. What kind of music do we got?
This week, a little bit of a blast from the past. Remember the punk rock sensations Teenage Bottle Rocket?
I do.
I love this band because they're always tongue-in-cheek and super fun. They have a new album out. It's called Stay Rad. After that, you're going to hear a cover song by the band Yawn Mower. They do Lump by the Presidents of the United States of America. So all of this and more. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you want to throw a message at us or call in, or show at tomandan.com for email.
Or peeing in your work truck.
Laughing, crying, peeing in my work truck.
Well, now that I know what you do, it's a less. I mean, us peeing at a $1 million studio in the corner is a little bit different than
$1 million. There's $1 million for this
in
place?
a dirty ass.
yeah.
Not
Not
talking about
here.
the old
Real
clear
radio.
Okay.
You know, like the board was $185,000
Okay.
board,
Yeah.
brand new. I
So-
mean, you pissing in a already pissed up lawn truck.
Yeah.
It's an 05 F-150. I'm trying to be making it better.
Yeah, it's dirty.
It might be.
Peeing in it makes it better.
Yeah, all you're doing is washing off the cum.
It stinks like BO from all the other.
Oh yeah.
Professional lawn care.
Lawn care
Professional.
Chances
professionals
are
that
there's
work
at
hard.
least 1 or 2 taquitos or a big bite rolling
Yeah,
around in
yeah,
there somewhere.
Spilled Mountain Dew.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
fueled.
That's a combo.
Where do you go every morning for your
love
lunch? I love this. I guess you're back
This is
in
Tom's
the-
favorite. And now, welcome back to Tom's favorite game show. It's called where'd you go to lunch, lawn man?
Yeah, because I used to really enjoy in the mornings before the radio station. It would be like 5:30 or 5:45. I'd stop at the 7-Eleven near the radio station, and I'd get like some caffeine or whatever. And I'd see the like lawn guys and construction guys getting their lunch and their breakfast.
No, I know exactly what you would get every day.
Gas station diet.
You would get a Diet Mountain Dew, a big one, and a banana or 2 bananas.
Yeah. Kind of healthy.
This
He
is
loved a good banana.
The other guys were not getting bananas.
No.
They would lots of giant with
Thirstbusters?
Yeah, Thirstbuster filled with double the sugar Mountain Dew or whatever.
Oh, yeah, full
like
bottle.
Code Red.
The fucking
Code Red Max.
Thirstbuster. The
Code Red Max.
Thirstbuster.
It, like flavor blue, blue ice. So like, what the fuck is that? And then like,
Hey man, I'm gonna head up here if you don't mind. I gotta go. I'm gonna racetrack and get myself a polar pop.
yeah, taquitos, packs of cigarettes,
Sunflower seeds,
fuel. What
Jerky, beef jerky.
Where do you stop
beef
for your morning fuel up?
I actually, I'm an early bird. I wake up around 4 or 5 every morning, so I make breakfast. I coffee up at home, and I'm salary. I work through the day, and I eat lunch at 3 or 4 when I get home most days.
Nah.
God
So
damn.
what about your coworkers? They get
You
they
go
get
12
the big gold,
hours
right?
without eating?
Not 12 hours. I'm eating around 5:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock ish, and then it's not too bad.
By the way,
I just work better that way.
I'm talking shit about all these guys. They're all ripped, better shape than I was. A fat radio guy.
Well, hold on. They are in the exterior. The
inside,
interior.
Rotting from the inside.
You see my boss.
Cancer.
My boss looks like a white trash Oompa Loompa.
Oh yeah. Well, the bosses they gain
That's
weight.
already taken. Sir. Hold on a second. It's kind of like a genie's lamp. You ever wondered? Outside of a genie's lamp looks really good. It's really pretty, really shiny. But inside of it, is the genie shitting in the lamp?
Now,
how does does he ever take his trash out?
Sir, the pee-pee's easily explained away through like general dirtiness and the fact that it's a work truck.
mildew.
Yeah, but the donger in the business cards, like he's gonna pull it out one day and be like, "Well, someone did this," and then he's gonna
And
start.
I hope he does the move where we're not leaving here until somebody admits to it. I've always liked that.
Yeah. By the way, no one ever admits to it. They did that
There's
recently.
only a couple of us at the business. He'll know it was me. I'm not concerned about that.
I mean, it was.
Did you just snort coke after you said that? That's what it sounded like.
I mean, so he's just
man,
gonna be like,
that'd be a much better Friday.
So wait, I got a question.
Frank put the dong in my thing. I'm sure not that your job's a dime a dozen, but it is. So I would just fire you and hire anybody, literally anybody off the street that could do your job. Probably.
You should start a lawn service called Dime a Dozen Lawn Service.
So my question is, if you were to get fired tomorrow for the donger prank, what would you do? Where would you go work?
Well, actually, next week I'm starting HVAC school, so that's kind of my plan. I have enough lawns that I do on my own on the side that I could support myself for a little while. I wouldn't
you're
lose
going
the house
behind
or
their
anything.
back and doing other lawns?
What is HVAC?
Oh, he knows. I borrow
Heating
equipment to go do
cooling.
them. He doesn't,
I
that's
always
no
hated
biggie.
calling HVAC.
Yeah, I
because
don't
it
like
sounds
HVAC.
like a vacuum
why are you
cleaner.
trying to make it sound fancy? You're a fucking air conditioner man. Yeah,
That's what they call it. I don't know. I'm going to air conditioning school.
Yeah. You're gonna be fucking. You're basically the slave to the penguins.
So, how much do you charge for a typical lawn?
I've got some that I do that run me about anything from 20 to 60 a cut right now. I've got one that I do for a quarter ounce of weed.
I like the cut of your jibs, sir.
Regular lawn man stuff.
Yeah, you trade, do some trades here and there. I feel like a quarter ounce of weed is a lot for.
How much do you charge for a green meadow in Castleberry?
No, the meadow's gone, right?
Yeah, everything's dirt.
Move the meadow to Titusville, then we'll talk.
No, okay. Yeah. All right, sir. Good luck with your travels and your new HVAC job. Do you want to do some news?
Yeah, you want to do it
ready, Bus Decker?
Early, yeah.
Front load the news and we'll Bus Decker. Let's do it.
Trying to get me out of here, aren't you?
No. News today brought to you by Porky's and Apopka. If you want some damn good barbecue, go to Porky's and Apopka.
They're putting new stuff on their menu. Tacos, chicken pot pie.
Yes,
chicken pot pie.
Yes.
Smoked chicken pot pie.
Have they ever thought of catering the Friday show? Because I would eat.
Yeah, We'll work some stuff out with Steve, but I
had to eat a bowl of soup on the way here in my
Oh,
car.
I'm sorry we don't have free barbecue. Next time we'll have a whole table. Too
I don't
much.
need a whole table. I just need a plate for me. Cut up too. I can't eat that barbecue whole.
Yeah, cut it up like you cut your son's grapes.
If you want,
you're never gonna live that down. You should have never shared that. Never share the intimate details of the
anything.
relationships that you have with your children.
I'm gonna beat your kids up one day.
Oh my God.
It'd be easy.
That's two of our regulars. That's two. So Seth that wants to beat your kids up. I was like, what is it?
Max would be a tough one. Tommy easily beat up. Porky's and Apopka. Speaking of catering, they do great with any sort of catering job, big or small. Porky's can do it, and they also do packages where you can just go pick up a particular, like say you want to feed 13 people, it's going to be a little party or whatever. You can call Steven, they'll put something together and you just go pick that up.
But not for swingers parties.
No? I think he'll do
well,
anything.
I mean, he will, but I'm just saying not the best food if you're eating a stranger's ass.
Well, you eat before.
Yeah, but then you
you don't want to eat before. No. You eat before, next thing you know, I'm pumping some guy's wife, giving him the thumbs up. We fist bump turquoise rings, and then she starts cutting fucking dirty tater farts in my face while I'm pumping her.
Oh, eat after.
Yeah, always eat after.
Okay.
Pork isn't a pumpkin. All right.
That's probably the best ad we've ever done.
All right, first story. There's a new social media craze filling up Facebook and Twitter. Has roots here in Florida.
Oh, it's Florida Man game,
The
right?
Florida Man Challenge is encouraging people to look up what version of Florida Man they are based on their birthdays.
I did it and didn't put mine out.
No?
Let's see. Let's have Samantha.
So
let's look them all up.
I'll explain the challenge here.
Mine's the worst. It's Florida Man kills 4 children.
No. There's probably a lot of Dan's, though. You could scroll past that
You
one.
don't put your name.
You put your birthday.
All right, so let me explain
Oh,
it.
my
So Tom thinks he already knows what it's all about.
Yeah, he knows nothing.
Surprise.
Confident.
So the challenge asks people to Google their birthday and, quote, Florida Man to find out which Florida Man headline pops up. And then you must post that on your social media, whatever the result is. So for starters, actually, no, I want to tell you mine. So mine's October 12th.
Okay.
So mine was...
Do you have to put the date?
Yeah, you put your date
the
and
year.
the Florida Man.
No,
not
just
the
the
year,
date.
just the
Okay.
date.
Okay.
So my
Month and
birthday
date.
is October 12th, and the headline that came up was from Channel 9, actually. Man shot after refusing shot at a Coe bar.
No, okay. So he got shot for refusing a shot.
Always take the shot.
Yeah, so it was a place called...
He took the shot.
No, he didn't. He
refused
got
it.
shot. For
No,
saying
that's what I'm
no.
saying. He
Okay.
took no.
Yeah, so
No.
guy shot another guy. It was in a place called Frankie's Place in a Coe, which I didn't know where it was.
Who owns it?
Bubba's playing there.
It's kind of over by the mall over there, over by West
Actually,
Oaks
Bubba
Mall.
got mad at me the other day because
what'd you do?
he wanted me to let me plug his bit. So or not
Plug
his
his
bit.
Connolly's. He's playing at
Connolly's.
Connolly's.
Oh yeah, Bubba will be at
I
Connolly's.
think it's Saturday, tomorrow.
Maybe. Yes, it is. I think so.
He got mad at you though.
Well, I think he said I got a gig at Longwood Friday. I think it's tonight. If you don't, you mind me calling in and plugging in. I didn't respond, and then he said, never mind. I felt bad. Then I did. Then I was like, oh, don't.
So anyway, that was my... it's going all over Facebook.
Oddly enough, Tom cuts Bubba's grapes up too.
Hey, everybody, you want your grapes cut? So what about let's look up February 15th.
All right.
Florida Man, February 15th. That's my birthday. What
February 15, 1992.
the point is that every single date of the year
something,
has
yeah.
some sort
Yes.
of headline.
And one of the reasons we have this here in Florida is because we have 20 million people that live here, and we have very loose public records laws. And
Yes.
so whenever anybody gets arrested in the state of Florida, you can find their public record.
And I've heard about that. That's the reason why so many stories seemingly come out of Florida is
The
because
crazy ones.
our rules when it comes to like the police and the news being able to find
Yes.
all these stories are a lot more lax than any other state.
Yes.
So we just have lax or more easier laws when it comes to the news getting these stories
Yes.
than other states do.
Plus Castleberry's in Florida.
This shit happens everywhere, but it doesn't help that we're hot all the time, which
Yes.
causes like
Craziness.
I mean, up north, like you're shut down for like
Also,
3 months.
we have laws that allow these stories to go to the media, which
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of other states.
Yeah.
But yours was Florida man claiming people were eating his brains, leads people on insane golf course chase.
No,
That was this February.
Good one.
Yeah, that was literally on my birthday this past
year,
February.
You got a good one.
All right,
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
Yeah, yeah. What about Florida? What about
What is it,
Travis?
June? What's your birthday?
April 1st.
Oh,
There's gonna be a lot of
April
jokes.
Fool's
Life is
baby.
a joke.
So, but it's also
Whoa, I don't.
not, is it really
Florida
bad?
man catches and cooks baby manatee.
Oh, that's a good one. I bet that shit's good as
bet it's
fuck.
fucking tasty.
I bet that shit's good. It's a lot of fat, like wagyu.
Yeah.
Like a wagyu manatee.
Would you eat a manatee?
Hell, I eat anything.
Have you seen the Facebook group, Manatee Hunting Excursions?
Yeah, but it's all fake, and then
Shit's
people like get
hilarious.
so fucking mad.
I met
So mad.
Dan, what are you, June 12th?
June 12th.
I met a
Florida
guy.
man charged in naked rake attack.
Naked rake.
You were arrested on your birthday.
Naked rake. There you go.
But
Starting my lawn service.
I knew a
Dying
guy.
professional lawn
lawn
service.
care.
Home with a naked rake.
Apparently, you could still have manatee in Cuba, and he went to Cuba and had manatee. They still
Good?
serve it there.
Really?
Whatever. Yeah. It's they got looser laws in Cuba. There's more to worry.
Well, how do
about.
you even? Do you just like catch a manatee? I feel like it would just
Easy
come up
to
to you.
catch.
It'd be
Yeah,
like,
okay.
yeah.
Slow.
Please eat
How do
me.
you kill it?
Yeah, I'm running them over with my boat all the time.
Yeah, how do you
It's easy.
kill it though? Do you just hit it in the head with a bat?
Would you feel bad killing a manatee though? They're just
No,
so
I,
nice.
don't, I wouldn't feel bad
Sweet.
killing anything.
They're
They
fast.
got little whiskers.
They'll
I don't give a
move.
fuck. I'll kill those whiskers.
I've seen a manatee move fast, like in Blue Springs
to
before.
get out of the way of your boat.
Yeah, probably.
Like they're faster than they, because I think they always move slow. It's kind of like a Big Tim. It's like Big Tim will shock you how fast he can run in short bursts.
He's quick.
But normally, to conserve energy, he's slow moving. All right.
What part do you eat? The tail or a whole thing?
Oh yeah, it's a giant. It's a whole big ball of
belly fat.
meat.
We're talking
This-
about the
this
manatee
picture
still.
is-
The
The picture is awful that's posted.
Oh, they put a picture.
Oh
of
yeah,
it? Is it a baby manatee?
it's a baby manatee on a grill.
Oh my God! The
Wait,
whole
is it
thing?
a fake picture?
No, it's from like Brevard Times.
Is it from?
Put
like,
a washcloth over his head.
was it a
Chop
photo?
his head off.
Was it a photo from when he like grilled
I mean,
it?
at the
I don't know, man.
at the very least, you put a child-sized MAGA hat on the manatee while you're grilling him.
Was the photo editor like, go get a grill, go get a fake manatee, let's
know.
grill this?
Who
thing."
takes a picture of that? I don't. You know.
Psychopath.
I feel like, if you were going to eat it for real, you'd probably like cut the meat out.
It
of
could be an April Fool's joke because it is April 1st.
Oh,
Got him.
Next story.
Wait, you look on mine. Oh, what
I
you
did.
It's a rake.
Naked
Naked
man
rake.
fights a
Oh.
rake.
See, when I typed it in, it
Wait,
was
what
like,
was
Florida
yours?
man kills his family.
Mine
I'm
was
like, that's not fun.
Florida man saves turtle from the streets, and it was like a thugster acting like the turtle lived in the streets and he was saving him. And he,
So that's a
But
funny
you-
one
he
too.
also put like a tortoise in the water, which I'm like, dude, don't do
No,
that.
it's immediately drowns
Idiot.
it.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care to know.
All right, next story. There is a beer war, a brewing. I came up with that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
My God.
so
Is that why you
Miller's-
earn the big bucks?
yeah.
Miller's
You
Coors.
should open a lawn service.
Miller's Coors is suing Anheuser-Busch over the Super Bowl ad that claimed Coors is made with corn
Yeah,
syrup.
the whole corn syrup thing.
Yeah, so Miller's Coors filed suit against Anheuser-Busch, the brewer of Bud Light, over the commercials, which they're saying is false and misleading, the commercials.
Yeah.
So it wants them blocked, and it wants their rivals to set the record straight. So Bud Light's ads, did you guys see these ads during the
Yeah.
commercial? They're kind of funny ads.
It was a funny ad.
They're like medieval times, and they're taking their corn syrup to all these different palaces, and I think Bud Light, or not Bud Light, but Miller Lite and Coors Light
Supposedly use
they
corn
have
syrup.
corn syrup
Yeah.
in their drink.
Budweiser uses rice, I believe.
Yeah, I believe they use rice to sweeten their beer. So they're saying that.
Oh, my papa will be real mad.
What did he drink?
Both of which are wrong to use.
he drank Milwaukee's best. Their
No.
best, the
But
highest.
they're gonna need some
quality.
sort of sugar to complete the brew.
So Miller's Coors said in Thursday's lawsuit that Anheuser-Busch, quote, plotted an extensive and persuasive advertising scheme designed to frighten consumers into switching away from Miller's Light and Coors Light.
But they do use corn syrup.
So they use corn syrup, but they don't use high fructose corn syrup.
Oh,
But
okay.
the ad never says that.
No.
That's about it.
The lawsuit could just be filed so that it makes news, so they
it's
clear
just
the
to be
name.
on record.
Like
Yep,
instead of
100%.
coming out with a bunch, it's probably cheaper for them to file a lawsuit and pay their lawyers a small fee, and then a bunch of radio shows and talk about the lawsuit like we're doing, than it is to run another campaign. Like saying, hey, we don't have high fructose corn syrup, we have regular corn syrup. So that they file lawsuits, probably very strategic.
I'm curious how they can sue them though, because it was like a medieval setting. It was like it's a very satiristic.
You could sue anybody for anything. Doesn't mean they're going to win.
Yeah.
In fact, I bet you we look 6 months down the line, this shit is
It's just a
gone,
headline.
done.
This brings up another question that I have, and I'm not at all throwing shade. I have no dog in the fight. Don't care. But how do we know, and how do we know what's regulated when it comes to craft beer? Because craft beer being as small as it is, and some of the flavors being as crazy as they are.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're putting in there, and most of the time they're small enough where a list of ingredients is not available. I'm sure you could ask at the tap room or ask wherever, but
I know they are regulated by the alcohol and tobacco.
do they have to submit their recipes in
To the
order?
FDA, I think. Yeah.
Even like the small batch ones.
I think if
absolutely.
it's
you can't put anything out there.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why when the government
it's
shutdown was
consumable.
going on, no one was able to produce these
Right.
crazy new beers, these seasonal beers, because the government was shut down because they have to submit all their.
There's a lot of
stuff.
rules.
Yeah.
I know. If I'm talking to Ryan Parker, like the government, believe me, will make you jump through hoops and pay them their whatever and then for anything that's consumable, I know there's regulations with that. But going back to I know then Bud Light launched a campaign about, hey, we're gonna list our ingredients on the can. I was like, does any consumer of Bud Light normal consumer
They're
give
concerned
two
about their
fucks
health.
about the ingredients? And also, if you cared about ingredients, wouldn't that then make you lean more towards a craft beer anyway?
Or like an organic.
Because
yeah.
guess what? The ingredients are like it's like rice, barley, water, something. It's very simple and it's the cheapest possible because
Four
of the
ingredients
amount.
with beers.
Yeah.
Essentially, rice is just an additive.
And then if you go and look at most of the craft beer and like a Red Cypress beer, they got really high quality. Like some of the beer that we just brewed, the peanut butter porter and stuff, is got high quality real chocolate in it.
Ridiculously expensive to produce.
And then but their ingredients are really impressive compared to this. So it's kind of like it all comes probably off this, and then the big beers fighting each other, trying to claim they got fructose corn syrup, we got rice, and you can pronounce rice, and you don't know if fructose corn syrup sounds scary. This just all to confuse dumb people? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
Isn't
most
that what
part.
all
And they did a
giant
good
marketing
job,
is?
Because I'm pretty confused.
Yeah.
I thought it was
And
a
no
good
one
ad
gives a fuck?
campaign.
Oh yeah. I like the ads.
I think you're right. I think if people are on the fence, do I drink Coors? A lot of times, I think when some people just go to the bar and they're like, well, am I going to drink Miller's Coors or Miller Coors or Bud Light? Like me, I don't really care. I'll just drink whatever.
You want them for the alcohol, and it tastes
exactly,
like beer.
But now if I have a choice, well, those two have corn syrup. Maybe I will drink a Bud Light. I'm not like that, but some people might be. You don't
and
think
out of
so?
all of those, I'm a Coors guy.
Yeah.
If those are the three I have to pick, if you're gonna give me those three plus a craft beers, I'm gonna go craft.
Oh, I will too.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Normally
those are
a
your
Bell's
choices.
Two Hearted. You had one the other night and I was jealous.
Ooh.
If I'm drinking,
I love Bell's Two Hearted.
Those will get you drunk.
Yeah,
quick.
that's why I like them.
They're good though.
Yeah,
in my
they're
entire
so
life
yummy.
of drinking beer and being around people that drink beer, which has been a lot, I've never had anybody concerned about the ingredients in fucking cheap beer. There's does it have alcohol? Is it the standard 4.2%? Okay, good. Does it taste like beer? What I expect beer to taste like? That's it. That's all I care about. So yeah, it's probably just they wanted to sue them so that would make headlines so they can.
I feel like
get the
Bud
message
Light's
out.
winning on this one though, because they sound like Coors sounds like the jerks in this whole battle. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
They,
we
they
can
seem
reach
like
out
the bad
to
guy.
our good friend Chris Fisher. I know he knows a lot about this, especially this particular lawsuit and ads, because he's got his thumb kind of on the pulse of craft beer. And I know he obviously has an opinion about it. He hates InBev more than anybody I've ever met. And the whole thing, I guess if you're really not in that world, you wouldn't even have to worry about it, right? If you're in craft beer world, you're like, yeah, go Go fucking do your commercials and whatever.
I think
fight it out, big boys. Who cares?
It got me thinking with everything. People are shocked, which amazes me all the time that giant corporations do certain things that are not necessarily like the best for their consumers or whatever it is, but it's the cheapest for. I mean, the corporation's inherent job is to make as much money as possible, and that's it. And that they have no other. I mean, obviously they have to follow within the rules of our country and the guidelines of what our country sets for them. But other than that, they're going to try to make as much money as possible. And that's seemingly what's happened with this Boeing the deal. And the more I looked into it, the more
it's almost like an upgrade, right?
Well, because I've talked to people in like the industry, like the airline industry and whatever, and this particular plane, they were telling me that it had the capability to take off super fast and almost like at such a steep angle, therefore making it more attractive to the airline industry and these companies that work in the airline industry, because the plane can get out of the way faster, basically. Like more planes can take off and land faster with this kind of style.
Yeah, because
plane.
getting them off the ground is the key, right?
Getting off the ground and getting away from the airport.
In fact, they rate airports on the efficiency of getting them off the tarmac fast.
Yeah, because the more planes equals more dollars for the companies.
Like the McDonald's drive-through. Get them through the window.
It is exactly like that.
And that's their job. So
no difference whatsoever.
So then here's where it complicates things. So then
way less safe.
You have a plane that is designed to take off very steep, and then you start putting in software that okay, well, if it goes too steep, because planes will stall. Like that's a problem. This is what I was talking to like the pilot that I know. He's like, you can't go too vertical or you'll stall, and then you'll fucking really crash. Like it's the problem. So this particular plane had software in it to keep the nose down if it got too steep. And then that was the software that crashed the two planes, because then they didn't know how to turn it off. And if a sensor went out and it would start pushing the nose down, basically crash, forcing the plane into the ground. And then the pilots didn't know how to turn it off, and that's what caused the two accidents. But it all stems back to designing a plane that takes off really vertically, and then them even having to put the software that pushes your nose down, which all stems back to, hey, how do we get a plane that takes off faster and more vertical than all the other planes to get more and more people out there?
Didn't they come out and say in both these cases it was the fact that both pilots had limited knowledge?
Yeah. In fact, the one guy saved the first plane that crashed the day before, saved him because he was flying in the jump seat. And like, if you're a flight attendant or a pilot, you can catch rides on planes for free because they have jump seats in the cockpit. And if you're a pilot, you can basically, on whatever airline you work in, like just like, hey, you got room in your jump seat? And yeah. And so the pilot just sits there. You're not working. It's just, you're just flying in this little fold down seat, kind of like I used to have in my S15 mini truck.
Yeah.
The seats will fold down.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
And then you say, so that.
Those are my favorite.
That guy was flying on the plane that crashed the day before, and that shit started happening with the nose, and then the two pilots that were flying the plane didn't know how to turn it off, and the guy in the jump seat's like, oh, here's how you turn it off. He knew, and so that shit could have crashed.
Put in code 6969.
Yeah.
Good to go.
But why then did the plane ever take off again? Like, that seems weird to me. Anyway, but it all stems back to corporate greed.
That's email worthy, right? You know, when you get done with that one flight, you send out an email.
You're like,
hey, just to refresh everybody.
We almost died.
Yeah, we almost died today. Here,
Bill knew how to turn it off.
Remember, Bill says the code is 6969. It opens up, then you hit the big blue button.
Yeah. But anyway, continue with the news.
Next story.
Corporate greed. These things will happen when they go if it goes unregulated, because the job of the corporation is to make the most amount of money possible.
It's true. Speaking of corporations that are giving out money, Papa John's has a new spokesperson.
Yeah.
No, really.
It is
It's gonna taste so good. It'll be a good pizza.
No, Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal.
They're like, who will endorse anything?
Yeah.
Get Shaq in
You
here.
think Papa John was mad because he's black, but he ain't gonna say shit about it.
No.
Shaq will El Kabong him on his tiny little fat Papa John head.
You're right.
So Shaq's also joining the board of directors, and he's invested in 9 Papa John stores in Atlanta, where he lives now. Used to live here.
Oh, how did we lose him to Atlanta?
I don't know. He hasn't sold his house here yet, though. It's still on the market if you guys want to buy it. It's like a $20 million house.
Yeah, Windermere, right?
How long has it been on the market?
Probably a year, maybe.
My wife was talking about that, and she was like, when you have those kind of houses, they're almost impossible to sell because he's done so much customization to them. Yeah. It's like, okay, the locations night is there's in Windermere on the Lake Butler. I've drove by it on my boat before, but it's got a full-size basketball court. It's got like a
you don't want Superman on the pier.
You don't want a Superman on in your floor.
It's got a like custom 3,000-gallon fish tank with sharks in it. It's got like his bedroom is like 2,200 square foot with
bed's probably
18-foot bed. It's like all this shit where like you're like the average rich person is like, hey, I want a expensive house, but I don't need a fucking basketball court and all this shit. So I'll
if
just
you're
move
spending
on.
that much money, you can spend to change the house, right?
Yeah,
you're
but
spending $20 million on a house.
But the reason why it's $20 million is because of all these upgrades. So it's like if you're not a basketball player, it's hard to find a buyer for that.
It's also like next door to the Isle of Versailles or something like that.
Oh, is it?
Like, oh yeah, it's
Wouldn't it be better the Palace of Versailles, the one that
isn't
Is that done yet?
No, not yet.
Don't you know? Didn't you talk to her and she said she'd come in?
I met her.
Yeah,
I met them both.
David Segal and
Jackie.
David Segal and Jackie Segal.
Yeah, she'll come. I'm sure she'll come in.
Yeah. Don't tell her, but real nutty.
Yeah, but tell her to bring all of her little dogs so they shit up her studio.
No.
I mean, whoa. Like you're like, are you
hello?
You a robot?
Anybody in there?
Is this
so Shaq?
Oh my God, she's
normal?
full of corn syrup.
So corn syrup and
So
pinto.
Shaq's gonna make $8.25 million over 3 years for the deal. And this all comes after John Shatner. How do you say his name? Shatner?
Shatter?
First name Papa, last name John.
Too much. Shatter's too much for me.
Too far.
Yeah. Anyway, he stepped down from CEO, stepped down from the board. Said a few.
Yeah, I thought he had that
nasty things.
website. What was his website? It was like Save Papa.
Oh, yeah.
Does he still have that?
I don't know. Probably not.
Everybody distances themselves. Even Peyton Manning is like, I'm taking my forehead out of this. He's like, I am stepping away. Even though
he's
given
actually
me
still
millions.
trying to get his forehead out of this. That's how big it is.
I don't like their pizza. Do you guys like their pizza?
There is one reason I sort of do like it. It
The
seems
pepperoncinis.
no, I'm not a
The
big fan
garlic
of that.
butter?
No, not. It just seems to be a lot less greasy
Yes,
than most
I will agree with
bullshit.
that.
And they all goes in my category of bullshit pizza. It's
Yeah.
a bullshit pizza.
Okay.
You know, your Domino's, your Pizza Hut, your Papa John's. Is there any other one that's
Little
big?
Caesars. Little Caesars.
Little Caesar. But you know, Little Caesars, I score higher than most.
Can I tell you about Little Caesars? Little Caesars has.
I like the guy.
They've kind of gone to shit a little bit
But
with
I
these
like the
$5
guy.
pizzas. But when I was younger, because Little Caesars is from Michigan, kind of where I grew up, they used to make good pizzas. Like their pizza was always pretty good.
Who's that dude that owns Little Caesars?
The guy who used to own is John Illich, but he died.
He was the guy that used to like
He owns
pay
the
for.
Tigers
Didn't he pay for Rosa Parks?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He
Her
was a
house
good guy.
Guy's
until
like
she died. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that guy, but I still like Little Caesars, even the shitty $5 pizzas. If I'm gonna pick one, if I'm gonna pick a bullshit pizza, I like Little Caesars. Papa John's is less greasy.
I think Domino's is better than Papa John's. Really?
I like Domino's,
Yeah,
but
I
when
like
they started
Domino's went to
overly
shit with that new recipe.
they started overly buttering their crust, and I don't like it. I don't like it when I grab my crust to get I don't like a buttered crust. I'm not a butter crust guy. No.
Pizza Hut really went down because I think
Yeah.
they're trying to compete with Little Caesars. And Pizza Hut was always a good pizza place. Now they're just sort of a shitty pizza place.
Pizza Hut.
That thick deep dish pizza.
The
Hut,
classic
good
Pizza
stuff.
Hut was good. You know what I really like right now? And there's one up on Colonial. And
Mellow
occasionally
mushroom.
we'll get
Is it Jets? Is it Jets?
It's Jets.
I used to work at Jets.
For bullshit pizza. Like, I say I don't put mellow mushroom in
Right,
bullshit pizza
yeah.
category because it takes a little while. Now, if I'm going to go mellow mushroom. In fact,
Yeah.
might be going there tonight because it's my daughter's favorite restaurant.
3 locations in the Orlando area.
Yeah, please. I like their thin crust now. That's like a new thing for me. I didn't know they had that. I fucking love it.
You know what probably ruined the like giant chain pizza restaurants is the internet. And follow me with this is because like when pre-internet or before everybody had a smartphone, like all you knew of really was like you probably
commercials, right?
Well, just that, and like you knew the big guys, the Domino, Pizza Hut, and the Papa John's or whatever. And now with the internet, it's opened up because everybody has because of all these like peer-to-peer delivery services, the Uber Eats and all. Like you can get basically anything delivered now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like I think everybody in society would agree that there's like the one-off mom and pop pizza places make a better pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like craft beers, has better ingredients. Like, big corporations, they're limited because they're doing so much. They have, and like a Mellow Mushroom has like better ingredients. It's just it's a business.
Well,
you pay for it.
You do, but what you get from Mellow, even though they're a chain, what I really like is that they are there's a hierarchy there, so there's a quality control. Some of the mom and pops, the problem you get in, and I love a good mom and pop, hey, he's New York style, that guy, hey, you're not gonna find a better New York style. We bring the dough down, the water's from Ithaca, New York. Like, I get it, but a lot of times the quality control, this guy's got a small business. He's back there. He's like, we dropped a pizza on the ground. Pick it up and put it in the box and fucking throw it. We're fucking losing money. We're losing our ass. I don't want that. Like,
it could be hit or miss.
Mellow has quality control in place where you're going to get
they're
good
a big
shit.
company.
Yeah.
But small.
And they're also from Atlanta.
That's I saw a Real Sports on Shaq, by the way. The guy is, we joke around and we give Shaq bullshit, but the guy's a fucking genius businessman. As far as, at least he knew that after basketball, he can turn his entire image into a brand and start endorsing shit. And he has made an insane amount of money after his basketball career, endorsing things and getting involved with companies and shit. And I guarantee he's making an insane amount of money off. They probably.
But he does have like 10 kids. You know what I'm saying?
He does, but still.
A lot of money. A lot of child support.
Still.
What do you think his net worth is as of 2019?
I have $300 million. More?
Really?
Yeah. You could have 100 kids and
throw
be fine.
100.
Seriously,
throw 100 million more on top of that.
400 million.
He's half a fucking $1 billion. Yeah.
He owns 24 Hour Fitness. I didn't realize that.
The whole thing?
Really?
Yeah, I think
Really?
He's got that general money.
So what has he got his hand in? General, 24-hour fitness, now Papa John's.
Oh, no, Mr. Big's Car Wash. Mr. Big's Car Wash.
Is he part of that?
Yeah,
Says
that's
he
him.
owns some Krispy Kreme Donuts franchises in Atlanta.
Damn.
Big Chicken, which is a fast casual fried chicken joint in Las Vegas.
He got
from me and Sam been talking about fried chicken. We're out to get fried chicken this weekend.
He got a lot of
freaking out.
I think mentorship from Magic Johnson, and because Magic Johnson did a lot of that same stuff.
Oh,
like
that's theater money.
basketball.
Oh my God, what's Magic Johnson's net worth?
Dude,
now?
he's big into Starbucks and theater.
Oh,
I think.
He gets paid for that healthcare.
Magic Johnson
Magic got
theaters
into
are
Starbucks
huge.
early.
Magic Johnson was one of the first people that like partnered with Starbucks to get Starbucks in like lower poverty neighborhoods, and because Starbucks didn't believe that like they were like, oh, we should stay in these. type of
Oh my
neighborhoods.
God!
Yeah, so
700 million.
Yeah,
Really?
oh yeah. He got
Johnson's
that
a goddamn business
But
genius.
you don't see
He's
him
got
as like
that
a spokesperson.
You got that.
If you go to his theaters, he used to be on there, but
he's got that fuck AIDS money.
Yeah, when you have fuck AIDS money, you're huge.
Like, give me AIDS. Doesn't matter. I'm so rich. I'll beat anything. Like with that kind of money. Although cancer gets the rich too. So
Charlie Sheen wishes he had that money.
Who?
He's doing fine though, right?
Is he?
Winning.
Who?
Rough as shit looking.
Who?
Turned out.
What happened?
I just. I was trying to think of Apple's CEO. What's his name?
Mr. Tim Apple.
Tim Cook.
No, the old,
Tim
the one
Apple.
that died.
Johnny Appleseed.
No, you motherfucker.
That's what you just said.
What was his name?
Steve
I don't
Jobs.
even know you're talking about. Okay.
He couldn't buy his way out of cancer.
I was letting him go for a while.
Oh yeah, cancer's rough.
Yeah.
If you have your choice,
AIDS is no big deal anymore.
if you have your choice, AIDS or cancer, you got to go AIDS.
Oh,
Yeah,
every time.
because they have actual treatments and
Israel
medications
claims
for
they're going to
it.
be curing all cancer in the next 2 years or something like that.
Just got 2 more years, Tom.
Yeah. Hold out.
That's what they claim. Yeah.
If
big claim.
that is true,
Right? Yeah. No shit.
If that is true, I hope I get cancer just so I can cure it. Because there's a heaping helping of sympathy I want from all of you.
I feel like you could say anything nowadays. It doesn't even have to.
Cupid,
Nothing. There's no one holds you to anything now. You just throw out nonsense all the time and
Like you do.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I
That's
learned
this
it from.
whole show.
I learned it from watching you.
Ah.
So the lineup for the Woodstock 50 has been revealed. You guys gonna go to Woodstock?
I looked
Where's it at?
You think
New
it's
York.
a good lineup? I thought it was.
Yeah,
So
kinda
let me read.
rad.
Let me read
No,
some of the
it's actually
names:
pretty
Jay-Z, The Killer, Chance the Rapper,
The Killers. Fuck the Killers.
the Black Keys, Halsey, Robert Plant, Miley Cyrus,
Dead and Company.
Dead and Company,
yeah,
Common,
I saw that.
Brandy, Carlisle. I don't
Carlisle?
Carlisle. I don't even know who that
Halsey.
is.
He already said Halsey.
Jack White's Raconteurs.
The Raconteurs.
So yeah, they'll play August 2019 in Watkins Glen, New York. Which I think was where Woodstock was, or around there.
What remember the was it what anniversary was the big giant fuck up?
99?
I think that was 99.
That's
yeah.
99. What was the
break some stuff.
Limp
lit everything on
Bizkit
fire,
played,
yeah.
and
what year did they celebrate that? Was that the
30th?
30th? Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with the chat room. I wasn't impressed with the lineup.
So
I was like,
some of the original performers are playing.
Yeah.
Santana, John Fogerty, who was in
Country
Creedence.
Joe was in the.
But can he even play half his songs now?
I don't know.
Who?
John Fogerty.
I think he can play the Creedence songs.
I don't know. I think he
Are they
lost a
not
lot
allowed?
of rights to that.
Yeah.
Even though he wrote all the music because he got screwed.
God, my wife hates some fucking Santana.
What was
Oh,
the
I don't
problem?
like them either.
Oh, she hates Santana.
What was the problem in '99 that people started? Was it because they were charging too much for water?
I think they
and
ran out of water or something. Nobody was
Yeah.
there to suck their dick like in Firefest, and no water.
because now we do big festivals.
Where's Bill? He knows the code for these planes. Maybe he'll suck this dick for water.
like because other festivals, South by Southwest. What are some other ones?
Bonnaroo.
The
Bonnaroo.
biggest
Coachella.
Bonnaroo is probably the.
Coachella.
I've been to Bonnaroo.
I've been to Bonnaroo,
Yeah.
yeah.
So these festivals work. Now, there was a kind of grassroots movement behind them, and they started small. And they
Bonnaroo did.
Yeah, and I
Bonnaroo
think
was run by Superfly originally. It was
Coachella
small.
and South by Southwest started small too,
So
right?
South by
Yeah.
Southwest is in the city, though. Like it's not a big festival.
You're right. Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
a.
And that's more of actually a showcase.
Is
Yes,
it okay?
Yeah,
I
and
don't
then
know.
bands
yeah.
just happen to play all
Yeah,
over
I mean
town.
that's more of like an industry, almost like a convention.
But
Yeah.
for industry types and unsigned bands. But like
because my whole thing is like you tried to do an anniversary of Woodstock back in '99.
Well, they
it
did
went
one in
horribly
'94
wrong.
too, and that
Yeah.
one did okay.
But is it a really? I mean, like the vibe has changed. You
Oh,
know, it
definitely.
used to be, hey everybody, let's go check out this music. Now it's really just a party for the ultra rich, right? And even Woodstock's
Yeah.
going to be that.
They
it's
haven't
going to be all the
announced
stars walking
prices
around.
yet,
Yeah.
but you're probably right.
Yeah.
And all
I mean,
these
it's not
festivals
even,
are
it's
expensive.
lost its way. Not to use that phrase again, but it's not. You know, if you want to do it, then put it on and then make the ticket.
Well,
you know,
we were just looking today at a festival. It's going to be in St. Augustine. What was
Yeah.
it? Sing It Loud or something like that in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Half of the shows are free. There's
Yeah.
only a handful of them you actually have to pay a ticket price for. That's how music festivals should be.
I snagged
like,
one of those too. I'm going to see Casey Musgraves because
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of her. I like her.
Yeah, you're right. It's like if what are you doing it for?
And
I
even
think that
those
has a
tickets
lot.
weren't that expensive. The
No.
one you paid for.
Well, I upgraded. It's like a birthday thing and like a we never get away kind of a thing. But I could have gotten that ticket for $38.
yeah, now it's like
Not bad.
$350.
You can see
for
a
like,
Grammy
you know.
award-winning artist. She got Country Album of the Year. I mean, like it's huge. You see her for $38. I mean,
Right.
I've paid more for shittier seats in this town. You know, that's at a cool amphitheater in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
I mean, the business has changed so
You're
much,
right.
and that's what happened. I mean, the original Woodstock, they just sort of set up and started playing.
Yeah.
There's more to it than that, but now there's stage shows and insurance.
Couldn't there
It's
have been a
just-
way to do that though, and like still maintain a little bit of the original?
I think the problem is, and this
vibe?
goes to your kid's softness. And I've thought about this before.
It all comes back to grapes.
Well, no, I think people would just they couldn't do it. Like if you look at pictures from the original Woodstock,
it's rough.
You couldn't do that.
disagree.
Now.
People are sleeping in
There's,
mud.
there's still some dirty, grungy festivals that go on.
But you'd have
All
less
right.
people there. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, because I mean, if you even think about Bonnaroo,
Sewanee Festival,
But you
Halloween.
gotta think about it. Like
they're-
again, this Woodstock concert is not to carry on. In my opinion, is
No.
not to carry on what the original Woodstock was.
No.
It's just another
It's a moneymaker.
money-making
it's
opportunity.
a festival that happens to be the 50 years after the original.
and it's
one.
got a popular name.
It would be more wise if you wanted to continue to do it to bottom barrel price it and then get companies to underwrite things. I mean, we kind of do that with our events. We try to get our clients to help, take a little of the, carry the majority of the load and then make the ticket price cheap.
But it goes back to what I said about corporations.
greed,
If
yeah.
you're a corporation,
Yeah.
your idea, your goal is not to do the best thing for everybody. Your goal is to make the most amount of money for yourself, and that's why we're not a corporation, so we could do these things.
But
I'm
my
guessing
point is, like an iconic festival like that of Woodstock, you've changed the whole idea of what it is now.
Also, you probably have to pay these bands and these acts a lot more because they don't make money. Back in the 60s, you'd make money off of albums, and a lot of bands would probably play for free to make the money off the album sales. Now it doesn't exist anymore. So now the business model is like, hey, I got to get paid for all the live shows. That's how bands make their money now. So you just can't do it. And also, who's demanding this? Like, I feel like nobody gives a fuck about Woodstock.
Nah, man, people love music festivals. They all sell out. People love it.
But there's music. They tried to do a music festival here, and it fucking tanked.
Yeah. Well, they do it all
I
the
was
time.
there, and it was good. I liked it.
The Orlando Calling was
the
a
bands
shit
were
show.
good. No, but the bands were good.
I thought the lineup was shit though. It's like
But they couldn't sell
Kid Rock
tickets.
and Bob Seger.
Yeah, they had shitty lineup.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Kiss.
That was only one day. Though.
Kiss was there.
There's one coming. Kink Festival's coming to the Orlando amphitheaters.
Who's
the Maine and State Champs. It's like a bunch of pop punk bands. They had the self-help one last year.
Oh, that self-help is a day to remember, right?
Yeah.
That's there. Yeah, that one's actually I usually
But
like
that's
the
a
lineup
traveling
on that.
one.
I may be a curmudgeon old man, but
Yes.
my festival days are over.
Yeah, anything that's like a weekend
Yeah, like-
sleepover, I'm not doing.
Or like I remember I used to enjoy going to the Warped Tour, and when I was a teenager, and
I went last year.
Yeah, no, I know.
Way too hot.
Yeah, I'm standing in a field. Everybody's sweating. There's
Stinking.
some teen being. I'm like, I'm not. Like, she's
Don't
crowd
touch her.
surfing. I'm like, don't touch her butt.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Hot? Everybody stinks. What the like? I'm watching some band that is
Real Big Fish.
Yeah, Real Big Fish. I like Real Big Fish, but I'm like, fuck this shit. Drinking hot Bud Light. Like, I
don't know.
But who enjoys that? Really?
I like Real Big Fish too.
Did you have
but
fun at-
Somebody
I
needs
did.
to cut that guy's sideburns and give him a pair of sunglasses that aren't white frames.
I can't wait till Samantha has a kid, becomes
I'm not
curmudgeon
having a
like me.
kid.
No, it'll
That-
happen. It'll
that
be
time has
one
passed,
mistake.
man.
Oh no, you're still
Oh,
young.
you got your ovaries are glowing right
Yeah,
That doesn't mean I'm going to use them.
My
No, I
wife
didn't say that.
was like in her early 30s. It's fine. You can have a kid up until 40.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want one.
I
You
know,
never
I'm
know.
just waiting
We
till
want
I-
you to have
yeah,
one.
yeah, it's just to be miserable.
I just want to see if those things can get bigger.
Come on.
My
Next
God.
story, Buster.
Talk
Oh, we got one
about
la-
a festival.
We got time
Your
for
baby's gonna have a
one
festival.
last one. We got
Titty
time for
fest?
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Last story.
No, I would go to that. Now
Titty festival?
that I would pay for the ticket price.
What's that festival down?
And I'd camp out.
Fantasy Fest. Have you guys
Oh,
been to that?
that is Titty Fest.
Oh, yeah. And dongs.
Oh yeah, you might get
More
see,
dongs.
for you, Sam, because you
Alright, I
always
gotta go.
complain that there's not something for you. You probably the ratio I think is 1-to-1.
Oh, yeah. Maybe
It's,
more
it's
dongs.
one
than
old
tits.
man dong to
I don't want old man
I think it's
dong,
two
though.
dongs to one boob.
yeah. I think you're right.
Oh, wow.
Because old men they
Just
get,
one.
They're so horny and they freak out. They're like, I control my dog.
Well, yeah, also there's a
And then
certain...
you get your ugly wife's chest painted. It's
It-
horrible.
it attracts-
Keep the paint on for the rest of your life. You're a horrible creature.
a certain demographic that, more dongs.
Yeah.
This is my last story.
Okay.
So, a Texas man who crawled under his house to find out what was wrong with his cable crawled back when he found out there was dozens of rattlesnakes.
Yeah, but at first when
under
he
his
called,
house.
did you see the part of the story he called and he was like, "Yeah, I got a couple of
Yeah,
rattlesnakes under there."
so the resident in Woodson, Texas, he went under his crawl space and he said that there was just a few rattlesnakes down there, a few snakes. So when the pest removal company came out, they ended up taking out 45 venomous snakes underneath his home.
That's insane.
Yeah.
God.
And so the company actually said that wasn't the most they've ever seen.
Really?
They said they actually took out 88 snakes under a home a few years ago.
Well, I imagine up there, what state is
Texas.
Texas. It gets cold in Texas, and then snakes are attracted to the warmth, and then I'm sure it's warmer under the house if it's heated. So you're just attracting a bunch of snakes to your crawl space. Imagine like you crawl into there and you do the Die Hard air conditioning thing. You're like, yeah, then you start to light the thing, fucking 45 snakes. You're like, ah, like that. It must be terrifying.
I don't think I would ever crawl underneath my house. I would let
Hell
somebody
no.
else do it.
Well, you're a Texas real man. Like my pop up. He would be goddamned if he called pest control. He's like, what is that?
But wouldn't you at least sort of like flash a light and be like, Oh, just check it out a little bit.
Well, I'm surprised.
Yeah, you don't know what the hell.
You don't shake a stick under there, something just to stir them. You'd hear
Stir
them.
the critters up. Yeah.
Have you ever heard?
Yeah, throw an M80 under there.
I've heard. I've heard rattlesnakes in real life before in the woods, and they're loud.
They sound a lot different.
Their rattles are loud as shit.
Yeah.
Like it's not quiet by any means. You could hear that shit loud. So 40 of them,
45
were loud.
This was in Texas.
Texas.
You know, if you want to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
Yeah. True.
I didn't know it was the live version.
God damn it.
These motherfuckers.
It says Alabama Live on the album.
Wow. In Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band. That lead guitar is hot, but not for Louisiana man.
From Fort Payne, Alabama. I used to live near there.
Have you ever seen the band Alabama?
I don't think so. No. They used to play in Huntsville, though, every now and then, where I used to live.
I always thought it'd be funny if they, none of them were from Alabama.
Oh, they're from Fort Payne.
Yeah,
Alabama.
but I always thought it would be funnier if they weren't. Like bands like Alabama and Chicago.
Well, like Leonard Skinner, they have Sweet Home Alabama. They're not from Alabama.
No.
Florida.
And recently...
4 non-blondes.
What?
What are you talking about?
What?
I guess they all are non-blondes.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Bo?
But there's one blonde. She's like, I'm just a touring musician, not in the band. I don't know why I use the voice I used for the one blonde.
Yeah, what was that?
This is my blonde in 4 non-blondes.
Hey guys, sorry. I am blonde. I'm a studio session musician. I'm sorry.
Let's add this into the news.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of Tony. None of them are named Tony.
They're not?
I mixed those two up somehow.
Those are
That's
a big fucking
Tony.
mix-up.
They look exactly alike. Music exactly alike.
Opposite sex.
The greatest dichotomy is ZZ Top.
That guy, his name's Frank Beard.
Yeah, one guy with no beard, his name Frank Beard.
Yeah.
It got me every time. I'm like, there it is. So Daniel found this clip that he.
Are we gonna do this now, or are we gonna do it after the break?
No, let's do it now because
You sure?
when we come back from the break,
Because
we'll
we're running out of time. This has been a long ass segment.
Oh, okay. I just thought we were coming on an hour, and the last segment would be a half an hour, and then.
Let me grab it. I haven't even looked.
So Daniel found this and sent it to all of us.
In the group
And
text.
the
I'm surprised you
I
saw
didn't get it.
You're not in the group text.
Yeah, you'll be added one day.
You might as well be, because Tom doesn't pay attention. Surprised you saw this
He
clip.
did this week. He was really interactive this week.
Is Tom coming on your show this week?
No.
All right, just checking.
When
Thought
I
it
do
might
though,
be in the
highest
text.
downloads, best downloads. So Daniel sent me this, and it was from a church. Now I don't know the.
Okay, it's from Ed Citronelli Ministries.
It's kind of one-off kind of a
Yeah.
church,
Yeah.
like a
Storefront church.
Storefront church.
It's a church, I believe, in Brooklyn. I think it's in New York City.
And this is relatively recent. Like this is
this was published February 7th.
No, that's when I made my
2019.
order.
Have you ever gone to a real like evangelical? They have.
Oh yeah, I did a series of stories on them when I lived in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And what kind of things did you see there?
So the one, I'll keep it short because we don't have a bunch of time.
This ties into it. That's fine.
So I went to one that was a really small church. A black woman was the preacher, and everybody there was a black woman. There was no men at the church. And their church started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I got there. I was taking notes, and they just kept going and going and going, and they had no structure to it. It was like pray, sing.
Oh, it's like our
sing,
show.
Pray.
It's going and going, no structure.
And like they would just sing and pray and nothing. And so finally at like noon they wrapped up. And I was like, oh, like that's great. We're done. She's like, no, it's just lunchtime.
Oh, really? So a whole day?
Oh yeah. And so I eventually
couldn't do
left,
that.
and I called her the next day, and I said, hey, like, well, what time did you guys finish up? Early. I said, oh, what time? 7?
No shit. 9 to 7.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
My God, that's longer than a work
That's
day.
a demanding God.
Full day of churching. So
You know?
What kind of religion was it?
Fuck
Baptist?
you, God. You want me to work that long?
Or is it a loose
It
interpretation
was
of one of them?
probably some non-denominational Pentecostal type church.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of fainting and screaming?
No fainting, not a lot of that. Just a lot of singing and dancing.
Do you want to see this one? This is Ed Citronelli Ministries, and here his intro is pretty dynamic too. Oh, Ed Citronelli Ministries presents Deliverance,
And this is a promotional video that they came out with.
prophetic word, healing. These are all being flashed on the manifestation of evil spirit. These are all things being flashed on the screen.
He's a master of the head bop.
Yeah. There he goes.
Look that demo. Look, oral sex demo. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that sperm of that man out. Out, you demo. Out. Let go.
Okay, appears to be a younger, attractive black woman spitting into a trash can.
While the pastor yells,
Let the demon.
Oral sex.
That's
Let the man sperm at your mouth.
That's the first thing that they profile.
I don't.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be later in the video. a little bit.
You work
Yeah,
up
that's
to
your
that.
opening.
No,
It
they
gets-
open hard.
get
It's
'em
like
first.
There's not anything less aggressive than this. It gets worse.
it's like a Jordan Peele movie. It comes out hard. Comes out fast.
By the way, this is the promotional video that this church released, right?
How many views?
This has 154,000
Okay.
views. Let's continue
All
with Let the demon.
Let go.
Delivered me 2 Sundays back. Then a demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth. And then he came
petty
again and
bitch.
he slept with me last week, and I told the pastor that I need deliverance again, and since then my private part has been itching.
You got an STD, bitch. That's
Her private part's itching now.
Little extra cheese on
Because
the
the
taco.
demon, so she gave a demon a blowjob and her pussy started itching.
No, she said she first gave him a blowjob, and then
Came back
last
and
week
he
he came
slept
back
with her.
and slept with her.
Slept
Now her
with her.
vagina's itchy.
This
you know what?
is
I
real,
don't
by
remember
the way.
you, lady.
No.
As far as I can now, what are the
False,
chances?
fake news.
What are the chances this is a fake video? Probably next to because there's so many people involved.
What do you mean fake video? Like it's
like
a
these
skit?
are actors?
No, this is real.
I mean, there might be actors, but it's in. This is how this guy makes his money. He is all in on this.
Yeah. This is not just
He is
some.
Jesse Smollett all in. I going down with the ship. Like he talks to God and he exorcises demons
out of women
Yeah,
that
here.
think they're possessed.
It gets worse. It gets worse because he starts bopping her on the head like a little bunny foo-foo. Boom. They go.
Okay. Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you? Speak. Who are you? Check. Who are you? Look at that demo. Look at that demo. Look at that demo.
Her outfit's mad cute,
Look at that
though.
demo. Look at that demo. Who are you? Who are you? Speak. Speak out. Who are you?
She's bad at improv. She didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Come on.
She's like, shit, I
yes,
didn't get that far.
Yes, and Meisner technique. Meisner technique. Yes, and who are you? Who are you? She's like, I got nothing after
Then she
screaming.
faints. She faints.
That's the easy way out.
Yeah, we'll
right.
keep going here because the ending is really good.
This is insane.
Okay, she falls and she lays on the ground. And then she rolls.
You demon can help you. Huh?
He kicked her in the gunk.
Oh my God!
A little scream there.
Private part.
And he goes, "Get out of the private part."
Don't you feel like you'd want to go to this church at least once, just to like
Now look.
be there?
I
Yeah,
don't know
I
how
feel
long
like-
I could take it,
Boss,
though.
will you
Yeah.
go with me? Here's the ending.
I would go.
I'll
It's
go,
funny
but-
now, sad in person.
Here's the
because you're
payoff.
like you see the lady go to her Corolla, get her car. You're like,
yeah.
you're like, ugh. Like,
I mean,
what is-
afterwards, she's going through a Chick-fil-A drive-through, you know, and you're like, you just
No,
spitting
not
demons.
open on Sundays.
You were spitting. Well, no, it may
true.
not be Sundays. I mean, it's maybe Thursday nights. You know,
Yeah.
she's going through Chick-fil-A drive-through. She's, hey, wait, wasn't that the lady that's spitting the demon cum in the trash can? Like, here's the ending.
You're like, what the fuck?
Here's the ending. The ending is it's a surprise ending. I got to tell you, this one took
Really?
the cake. My wife cackled, laughed when this happened. Here we go.
Yep. She's like,
Okay.
she's walking like a wrestler that's just been choked.
No, here we go. Here we go.
Rosamond.
Rosamond Daniel.
Rosamond Daniel. What happened to you today?
So you prayed for, you delivered me today, and then when I went to the bathroom, I think 15 minutes later, some white stuff came out with the blood after you sprayed.
With the blood?
Oh, come on, son.
What in the hell?
I like the guy who started
prayed
that.
over her. She got to the bathroom.
She pushed
White
it out.
stuff comes out with blood.
What are you clapping?
Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah. The guy was like, oh,
You guys
yeah,
wouldn't do
happy.
that? Who are you? Who are you? Did you just drop cum in my toilet? Demon cum. Give it up for demon cum.
I feel like, oh God, there's just nothing. Yeah, there's.
I would love to go with Tom because Tom gets so awkward.
No,
in
it'd be in the
situations.
back. I'd be like, I would have to.
What if they asked you to go up there to be delivered? Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't. But if I was forced into it, I'd do what I do at weddings when, drunk's bridesmaid pulls me out to dance. I do the stiff shake. I do the stiff dad shake. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll give you a good 30 seconds of the stiff dad.
You can do the Snoop Dogg. The Snoop Dogg is up to the right, up to the left, up to the right.
I don't think Tom can do that.
No, I'll give you the back and forth stiff dad just to appease everybody. Then I'll slowly back out, and because if you don't.
Who are you?
They'll try to keep pulling you back on because apparently people love when you awkwardly embarrass you. Like people, especially at weddings and
then eventually you consume that one last beer, and then you're like, it's time to worm.
By the way, what do you think?
Head out to go worm.
What do you think for the people that do drag the people that don't want to dance onto the dance floor? What do you think you're going to accomplish at that point? Like, do you think they're all of a sudden going to start moonwalking and like, oh, this person's a fucking goddamn Chris Brown? He's dancing amazing.
My whole life.
It's gonna be like that guy that danced to the Post Malone Wild song.
Yeah. Do you think I'm gonna Post Malone old man dance all of a sudden? Like, there's a reason I didn't want to fucking
the
dance.
Heart, you're like, all over the place.
Guess what?
I just want you to join in on the fun.
Yeah, but there's a reason why I didn't join in the fun. I don't know how to dance. I'm
Is
awkward.
this why you didn't come to my wedding?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. That's why I don't dance.
You didn't want to
weddings.
get electric. It's boogie oogie oogie.
So when you pull me out there, I give you the 15 minutes of that shake, which and therefore is.
You know what you should do? Go out there, then ask the DJ for a mic, and when he gets you a mic, you're gonna be like, you do the whole like. Who are you? Who are you? And I'm happy marriage, Samantha. What happened in your bathroom? You dropped the white with the blood.
When you drag someone out into an audience and they obviously don't want to do that thing, what do you think is going to happen? Like, nothing special. It's going to be awkward, shake, back and forth. Then you're disappointed. The person that dragged you out of there is disappointed, and everybody's disappointed.
I think I would feel better seeing how poorly you're dancing, and then people would see how good I am at dancing.
Are you a good dancer?
You didn't see him at the glow party?
I saw it, but I mean, like, it didn't look like less like dancing. It looked like more like he was, like every time I see Buster, he's always looking for the story. He's always like,
no, man, he was breaking it down.
I was breaking it down.
Yeah.
I mean, good is a relative term, I
didn't
guess.
think he looked bad at all.
I had fun.
It's kind of like
I don't dance anymore. I've stopped doing that.
Really?
Yeah, I think
you retired.
I mean, I'll dance. If my wife wants me to dance with her, but the days of me just going out on the dance floor and like dancing myself. I don't. It doesn't. No, I get nothing out of it.
Yeah. Me too. I'm the same way.
I'm not anti it, and when I do enjoy dance programming, I like watching people that know how to dance. I'm not at all anti. Like if Samantha was dancing and like looked good dancing, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome. She's having fun dancing.
Yeah.
I just don't. I've stopped.
Yeah. Me too.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been booty dancing with your wife?
I saw him dance at his wedding, but
I danced crazy at my wedding.
Yeah.
No, even fast dance at my wedding. It was because I was fucking drunk having fun. Yeah. I'm like,
by the way, I got awkward. And I was like, ooh, he's dancing. Don't look at him.
Yeah. I also dropped my pants. Yeah. I made all you guys drop your pants. We got photos made with their pants off.
Yeah. It's just when you force someone to do
something. I made my
something
wife spit in a trash can.
they don't want to do. I think everybody thinks in their mind it's going to be like what was that? The lady that was older, less attractive, had a great voice, and has shocked everybody because
Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle. I think people expect like a Susan Boyle scenario where it's like,
hello, what are you going to sing?
I've never sang a day in my life. I'm just a tiny British creature, I am.
And you're like, oh, Ron, go ahead, off we go. And she's like, oh. You're like, oh, yes.
I don't know
Bravo.
how old was she when she did that?
I think she was like 50.
I thought she was younger.
I think she looks older than
She has some problems, right?
Sure.
She has some problems.
Oh,
We're a society.
No, look
of-
her up. I'm being nice.
No, she did, yeah, no.
She has some issues, I think.
Every other video on Facebook is Kevin Durant dressed in old man makeup and he's dunking on people at a street basketball. And we're like, look at that old man, he's dunking. And like we're obsessed with seeing people do amazing feats that they shouldn't be doing based on what they look like, but it's not true because they're made up to look bad. So,
Yes.
even the Susan Boyle thing, I have a suspicion that they probably purposely made her maybe look more frumpy than she the whole plan was, hey, if frumpy lady sings really well and then America loves her.
It's the fish out of water scenario.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody
She was
loves
47 when she was on the show.
Not that old, but it's just that's not real. It's all fake.
Well, they knew she could sing. I mean, they
of
just
course,
put her out there.
Yeah, but that's why that this guy that was on Ellen that also got flown to Post Malone's show in like Austin, Texas or whatever.
He's not a real old man.
Yeah, he's also
is
he's
he?
He was
43.
42.
Yeah, 42, 43 years old.
Oh, really?
He's not old. But at the same time, the reason people like it is it because it's that like he shouldn't be doing it scenario.
Yeah,
he doesn't quote unquote look the part.
He was he was probably a dancer in his younger age, and then
he grew out a biker beard, and now everyone's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Then he grew his, and then he let his
He also
bozo
has a
grow.
tendency of nerd. Like, because when Ellen was interviewing him, she's like, how happy are you? And he's like, happier than when I won that Halo tournament. Like, he's like, you can tell he's
apart.
This nerd.
He knows exactly what he's doing. Anyway,
Take a
let's
break?
Yeah. Don't force people to dance at weddings.
There you go.
No good will come from it.
If you can learn anything, that's the thing you should learn. Local music from a band I really love called The Pauses. Name of the song is Digital Detox. It's something that we could all do. Is detox from the digital. 1-844-TOMNDAN. Show at tomanddan.com if you want to throw us an email. And the drums kick in right about here.
Old man. Like, guess what? I know what it means to dance, and I obviously chose not to.
Has this happened to you recently or
No,
multiple
I
times?
haven't been to weddings in a long time, but every wedding I used to go
just not do it.
No, but the problem is that is even more of an awkward scenario. Once they drag you all the way out there, and I'm not a dickhead enough, or I'm too awkward to be like, get the fuck off me, bitch.
Well, you don't have to go that far.
I know, but that's it. They're pulling me. I'm like, no. I'm telling her no the entire time. They're Weinsteining me.
But the thing you do is you like giggle the whole time, so everyone thinks you're like.
I know, because I don't want to come off like a dickhead.
But just be like, no, I don't dance.
Oh my God.
Just be serious.
Yeah, I can't be serious.
Dude, this is you. You are,
and also,
you are Baby Kermit. Hold on, check this out. I'll put it up here for everybody.
They're all like,
to
this
see.
is the fucking, and also they like, this is the bear suit guy. He
Look,
loves this.
Does he
shit.
have a polo and
yes, he does.
flip-flops
Check
on?
this out. Check this out.
Start with some high kicks. A 1 and a 2.
Kermit the Frog.
There you are. That's you dancing at a wedding.
He does look drunk.
Drunk Baby Kermit.
He does have the polo.
He has a white polo on. He's a fucking Proud Boy. He's got his Proud Boy polo
He's going
on.
to start telling Miss Piggy
I
how
like
to
this
really
country.
do dancing.
Look, he's got short shorts on too.
I mean, don't get me started, but this country was a lot better when we had regular values.
And by the way, someone in the chat room want to know what my wife is doing during this time. She's laughing at me because I believe there's nothing that makes her more happy than me being miserable. At least that's what I've garnered from years of experience.
That's why she stays married.
Yeah. She says, look at them, they're doing it to him again.
There's no such thing as fake news.
Or she's on the dance floor dancing.
Oh, she's a dancer?
She'll dance, yeah. She gets mad at me. She's like, I'm going to go dance. I'm like, well, go ahead.
I mean, why is it wrong to be proud of your green skin?
Where's my truck?
How come there's no G? E.T.
All right, let's do some news.
We already did the news.
I'm sorry.
Let's do some news, mail on mail.
More news?
I'm sorry.
2 sips of White Claw.
I know. My third segment, White Claw.
It's time for mail on mail. Here we go.
Hey guys,
Thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Male on male.
Tom has green shorts on too. Right now.
I know.
It's happening.
And that's a Tom fan guarantee.
He does have a song. It's not easy being green.
Yeah.
Because it's easier being white. I'm sorry for all the green people I've offended.
Mail today brought to you by...
You're a green nationalist. Tom fan green nationalist.
Mail today brought to you by Precision Door. If you need a garage door, call 407-710-BDMS.
Yeah.
That's 407-710-2367, or go right to Big Tim, and he will take care of you, whatever you need. He works for Precision. And they're also always usually hiring. We got a ton of BDMs that work there.
Maybe we can get the lawn care guy a job over at
listen. They are
Every
looking
morning
for...
I put a little squirt of pee-pee in the truck.
The DUI might hinder after his year or whatever he has to wait.
I've never done a Kermit the Frog voice. I'll work on that. I'll fine-tune it, but I'm having fun doing it.
Kermit the Frog.
Precision garage door, sorry.
That's good, Butler.
First email.
I've never let the song go this long.
You know what happens at the end?
Like this. Bass drop.
It's kind of like a Terminator 2 vibe to it,
Yeah.
right? A little bit.
Kind of feel like I'm in the
Does it
Hunger
just
Games.
fade out like that?
No, I did that manually.
Okay, this says, my dad who showed me the path to becoming a BDM is having heart surgery today. Please throw some positive vibes his way. His name is Josh Ward. This photo was taken at y'all's documentary premiere in front of his 1952 Chevy, and he's got a BDM sticker on it.
Yeah, the dude, it's a badass ride, and he put a BDM sticker on it. Dads, we're thinking about you.
Yeah.
Good luck with the surgery.
Positive vibes, Josh.
What kind of heart surgery? I know he didn't
Does
say
not
anything.
Broken heart surgery.
Human heart.
Sometimes, like, here's the thing.
Human energy.
I mean, it could be very, very serious, or like sometimes they have to put a stent in your heart. Nowadays, they just they go in through your fucking groin, your artery down by your leg, and then they travel up there.
They
with
don't
the stent.
need to do that, right? They do that because they want to see your dick. Right? 'Cause
I don't know.
I'm convinced that
You're the
every
biggest
doctor, like the only thing that makes their days, especially surgeons, the only thing that makes their days okay are the ability to see multiple genitals throughout the day.
I don't know.
So if you have 3-4 surgeries scheduled that day and you start in the morning, because most of the time they're going to do morning surgeries, it's going to be fresh. You know, you're not going to get most surgeries aren't going to be done like 5:30.
No, you don't want the 5:30.
No, that's the worst. You want the
9 a.m.
7 a.m.
7 to 9, yeah.
I talked to a bunch of nurses. They got friends that are
nurses.
nurses.
Horny tiny green shorts.
I have often broached the topic of the genitals they see all the time.
Yeah.
And they are not good.
Is that the first question? you
Yeah,
asked?
well, I asked the hard-hitting questions, Bustecker, but I've asked them like how and they're like, "Ooh, it's very, very bad." Like it's because most of the time they're in a bad shape.
It's usually because most surgeries, if you're just running the odds, are going to be like obese people and old people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not you're not getting the top quality genitals. Really. But like I said, the
Don't
stent
look at my frog genitals.
Now the open heart one, or like when you're replacing like valves and things like that, that's serious because I believe they have to like hook your heart into a machine that does the work circulating your blood while they're fixing your heart not beating and then shock it back to life. Like that's where you're like, holy shit,
wake me up.
Wake me up.
Can't wake up.
Is that a scenario where before they put you under, like you, not to get grim here, but
you say your goodbyes.
You do your family and stuff. Although
my dad did.
I feel like
when he went under multiple procedures, he would bring us in there and like,
yeah.
How you doing? I'm like, all right.
Although
you'll be fine. You lie. You say that. You're like, yeah, it's good. Everything will be fine. And every time it was. I mean,
it's like looking into the flight attendant's eyes when you hit turbulence. Like you do that with the doctor when he's like, "Hey, this is a common procedure." You're looking at him the whole time to see some sort of glimpse of the panic.
Do you do what I do? And I'll do it to the Twitch cam. Do you do what I do? Where they're like, hey, it's a pretty routine procedure, and you're like. You get closer to him.
Yeah, you're like,
you got to get a little closer to him. That's an intimidation.
Enthusiasm.
Yeah, you could feel if they're lying or telling you something. You know, this advertising.
I do that with here. I do that around here with money with Tom. He'll be sitting at his desk. Everything all right? He's like, yeah, everything's fine. And I'll be like,
it breaks me every time. I'm like, no, everything's not fine. You got me again.
And then he'll be like, meet me in the bathroom. And I'm like, another blowjob? I'm like, I can't keep doing
Get
this.
the demons out.
God, it's terrible.
So anyway, good luck.
Was that email from today?
It was. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Good luck, Dad.
I was hoping it wasn't a few
You'll be
weeks ago
fine.
when
No,
something
I made
bad
sure.
happened.
You're doing it.
No, I'm saying you'll be fine. The doctors, they know what they're doing. They get paid the big bucks.
Oh, no, my
Voicemail.
I hope that makes you feel better.
No, I have to ask you guys because we have a new favorite caller, and you guys haven't even heard him yet. But he's our new favorite caller.
Okay.
His name is Carl.
Oh God, which Carl is
Wait,
this?
is it the Carl that loved me on the cruise?
Could be.
I don't really know, but this particular Carl called us. This whole batch of voicemails right here are all from Carl. He left
Zach
us.
is not going to be happy.
He left us 12 voicemails, and all right back to back. And I can go through them. They're not that long.
Okay.
They're pretty entertaining, but Carl gets fucked up. Carl does not give a fuck.
Most Carls are like that.
Here is.
Is it Carl with a K or Carl with a C?
With a C. Here's Carl.
I have a feeling this is Cruise Carl.
Hey, Tom and Dan, Samantha, Butler. I just want to say, hey, fucking love the shit. All the fucking shit that you guys produce. I am from Minnesota on the fucking north coast in Duluth, Minnesota. Just want to say, hey, man, I love the content that you guys put out. And I have to say, I'm watching the fucking BDM show live from the Norwegian cruise, and shit, dude. Damn, I'm missing out.
You sure did, Carl.
Much love.
All right, so there's that one.
Wait, this goes down?
Yeah.
That's the most positive update.
Now, you're going to realize the first mistake when I play the next voicemail because he had his thumb on the microphone and his cell phone the entire time, which is why I had to go in and post and boost the audio. Here's regular Carl.
Hey, Carl from the fucking land that never fucking thaws out, Upper Minnesota.
Fuck.
Anyways, watching your shit, fucking just recently watched it. And
Okay, now you guys got to make a decision right now if you want to dig
Sounds
deeper.
like a
I do.
bedtime story I'm telling my sons.
Are these all in one night? Are all these calls from the same night?
Can I do permission to do an impression of that?
Yeah.
So Tommy, so this fairy is fucking flying around, and the fairy's flying around, and the fairy finds finds the princess. He finds the princess, and the fairy, the princess is like, fucking what? And the fairy is like, yeah, I know. Right? I mean, something like that. Do you want to dig deeper?
Yeah.
All right, that's the second one.
But that was the whole thing?
Yeah, that was it. Here's more Carl.
hey, Tom, Dan, Samantha, Butler. Hey, you guys.
Hey,
I
man.
know. Sitting here watching this shit, getting crunk off my ass. So, anyways, dude, I'm nowhere near where you guys are at.
Now I can just
but
give you a
I just
piece of
wanna
each
say,
one. How about
hey,
that?
man,
Okay.
Here,
fucking,
that's 3. Here's
good
4.
Fucking Tom, Dan, Samantha,
Hey.
Butler. Fucking,
Okay.
what's his name? Something about goddamn Stephen Kramer.
Probably got upset.
Just want to give you guys a shout out. Fucking from Upper Minnesota.
Okay,
You
well,
guys are
here's
up.
5.
Good.
Hey, this
all
goes out
close
to all
together?
y'all. Like,
Oh, these are all within a 10-minute period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably forgot that he called.
Or he did that thing where he thinks that he deleted the message and he wants to, do a new
Oh, he's
one.
like, God, idiot.
But they all went through.
He's like, he's slapping his face, he's like putting water. He's like, get it together. He's like,
Actually, Carl made me change something, setting on my phone. I actually deleted the hello@tomanddan.com email from my phone because all I was doing is trying to get a blowjob with my Manta sleep mask on, and I could hear my phone kang, 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 and I'm like, Carl, fucking stop! He keeps going though. Here.
Hey, this goes out to all y'all. Like, Mike. Hey, baby. Hey.
Oh my God, you hear it getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just sitting, watching Tom Van, Tom Van.
It gets worse.
Tom Van.
That's 6. Here's 7.
I want to say, thank you, Tom Van. Tom
Here's
Van.
8.
Hey, it's Kyle here from Duluth, Minnesota.
Why does his accent change now?
He's doing the Tom Van.
Yeah, most people are up here. Anyways, so
here's 9.
So, hey, guys, yeah.
Almost brain dead.
No. At 9, we hit maximum velocity.
Yeah.
At 9, he's speed of light right
One second.
now.
You know about this. Someone brought up in chat room.
I thought you guys would like this. I knew I was rolling the dice a little bit, saving all of these, but I went through all of them and listened to them, and they're bad. They're really bad. And I like drinking, but these are because right now, and I didn't think to grade them, but 9, we're at 9. We go to 12.
I want to ride it out.
Yeah, I'm in it to win it.
Well, I was going to ask Bustecker if he was familiar with the cabin fever that someone brought up and said, like, this is classic cabin fever. You're stuck inside your house. It's freezing outside, and then you get obliterated. I
mean, you can get drunk just as easy in a cold climate as you can in a warm climate.
Yeah, no, but
I was on the cruise.
Everybody likes Carl, by the way. Everybody's saying, go Carl. They're saying after this, he's dead. Alcohol poisoning, he's dead.
I could see, though.
Carl's go hard.
When you're right.
That'd be an awesome shirt. For Red Cypress too, because they got the beer.
Yeah, you're right.
They just brought it back.
Every Carl I know. I have an
Carl's
uncle.
go hard.
I have an uncle Carl, and he was known for dancing drunk at the campfire with
my
uncles.
Ladies.
Nobody had to pull him in to dance.
Yeah. Like all my uncles, they were like, "Oh, Uncle Carl had too many. I gotta get him home." So
I wonder if there is something to that.
Yeah.
Should I go to 10?
No, okay.
No, here's 10.
Don't stop now.
Or
hey guys, I just want to say I'm home, man. Yeah.
Okay, I got the shirt. It should be I'm level 10 Carl. That's it.
Well, we'll finish 10 and
Is
jump
it
to
just 25 seconds of him saying that same thing?
Yeah, he's doing his Tom Van impression, but he's
Yeah. Can you get beyond level 10 Carl?
Well, let's see. Do you want to hear 11
Will
and
the
12?
amp go to 11?
So, let's finish out 10. Here's 10.
Dick sauce. I'm gonna go over the bar. Yeah.
That's not even words.
No, that ain't gonna happen. Huh? Ain't gonna bar. Yeah.
Put his thumb over the microphone again.
Oh, God damn it.
All right, here's 11, Carl.
Thomas and Daniel.
Oh, it got better.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You go past level 10 Carl.
Names.
Yeah. You got past level 10 Carl. You go back at the beginning. You recycled.
He snorted some cocaine.
Yeah. You got back.
He got his shit together.
You're back, Carl.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you push
Thomas
yourself.
and Daniel.
You know what? This level 10 Carl taught me that once I'm at level 10 Carl, one more beer back to the beginning. I'm fine.
Here's 11.
Then I can drive home.
Here's 11.
Thomas and Daniel. This is Carl from Upper Minnesota.
Sounds better, right?
I just want to let you know, your ma and my ma and us, we all got something that is something that is
he's losing it.
in touch together.
Oh, he's listening to acoustic music in the back.
He tried to sober up. Is what happened.
Jack Johnson on in the background.
He's like
Jack Johnson.
He's
do
like
coke. Back at it.
He's like little Jack Johnson banana pancakes. He's splashing water in his face. Maybe he smoked some.
So there's one more.
Yeah.
I just picture him looking in a mirror, going, "Get it together, Carl. We're gonna call him."
All right. Here is. We'll go back to email after this. Here's final Carl.
Dead.
Thomas and Daniel.
Oh,
Mr. Big Shot. Mr. I wish I could say it, but you can't say it because you can't read it. Anyway, Carl from Minnesota. I just wanted to say, hey, we got a few things in common, you know. We both got dicks.
Wait, let's see what else. Let's see what else you have in common.
Point.
You do, in fact,
Point
both have
made.
dicks.
All right, one for Carl.
Yeah, in the mall.
Dicks in the mall?
No.
No, don't ever do
Minnesota, is that where the biggest, that's
Mall of America.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know about your dicks, but my dick's a little bit bigger than the other stores up there, so I hope you got a bigger dicks than the small.
He's talking
like
Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So he did sober up.
He's telling dad jokes
he's like,
now.
fucking sober up and give him your A material. Give him the Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, that's an audition.
That might be in the
He's watching Walking Dead. He's watching the fucking
He's the last person.
Oh my God. Carl.
He's the only guy
I'm gonna
watching
stop
Walking
right
Dead.
there. I'm stopping
Carl's
right there.
dead now.
Maybe that's how The Walking Dead ends.
Grown-up drunk Carl comes back and is
Well, Carl,
he's zombie drunk Carl.
I love you. I hope you're okay.
Alive?
Yeah, because
Oh,
he was
it's
just
not
hammered.
okay.
I mean, I really, I was picking and choosing those, but you could let them all go. And I think I added it up, and it's about, he left us in a 25-minute period. He left us voicemails that equal about 17 minutes, so he's super efficient. Because he went
back to back.
Yeah, I spared one of those. Is a 7-minuter. Like one of those is a.
I would be really disappointed if he didn't make it on the 2020.
Yeah, hey,
He
sign
needs to
up.
make it up. Sign up.
Yeah, more Carls.
Commandant
Let's make it the
Cruise.
Carl Cruise. More Carls, the better.
Yeah, level 10 Carl.
Yeah. Samantha, one more email.
All right. Conference show. Good day, sirs and madam. I was listening to the latest show before your cruise, and you are absolutely right to question this conference dude about pricing. Being a lowly podcast listener, I can only equate that experience to my disdain for music festival promoters who release tickets and ticket tiers before the artists are announced. I am at the age, 38, where if I am committing to a full day or even 2 days at any event, I should be able to know who's there and what the schedule is. That is all. Enjoy the cruise. Wish I was there, but I'm the sole breadwinner for my family and must grind it out here. Washy washy, BDM Ray.
All right.
Well done.
So yeah, I mean, listen, there's conferences that are quality.
I'm not hating on this.
It
I'd
could
like to
be
go.
quality,
Yeah.
but I agree. I'd like to know who's there, what the agenda
That's
is.
the only
like,
gripe
what the
right
Well,
now.
they announced who's there now, right?
The
I
only
don't know.
gripe right now is that like there's really not the details aren't really out. Oh, they did release. I got this from Chris earlier, Chris Fisher, our good friend from BYOCB podcast, because he is going. He's booked, so
Yeah,
he got
he
his
bought
ticket.
his ticket.
That's the update. He got his ticket. I would love to go with him because I know he and I like geek out on like the technology of podcasts, how to edit podcasts, the efficiency of editing podcasts, workflow, that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get, especially after I bought tickets today to see Casey
And
Musgraves.
it's also during the week.
Yeah.
You'll have to miss a week of work.
Well,
it's during. It's not. What are the weekend
I think
days?
it was like Monday through Thursday. Hold on, let me find out.
Oh, if it's Monday, I can't go. So.
Well, what didn't they announced who was
No.
the speakers?
I could be
now,
wrong.
no?
Hold on.
No, they
I
announced
thought that-
one speaker, and I don't know who they are.
Oh, okay. What, are they a podcast?
Yeah, I
Popular
looked them
or-
up. Very popular. It's
but just not recognizable that we.
Okay,
wouldn't-
so it's a Tuesday through Friday.
Oh yeah, I couldn't do that.
Cheaper tickets over at the Rose.
Yeah.
It's easier to book a place.
Never
during
mind.
the week.
I didn't even get that far. So there you go. I can't go. So that helps me out. All right.
Listen, I guarantee you, if you buy this expensive ticket, all your wildest dreams will come true.
I just
and you'll be the most popular podcast.
I just clicked on the speakers tab.
It's one. It's a guy and a girl.
Speaker announcements coming soon.
No, there's one. They've only
They don't have
announced
shit
one
on the tab.
keynote.
When is this?
August 13th
Oh,
through
there's
16th.
some time.
Yeah,
still.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
like
but
it's
they've
next week.
increased their ticket prices without
Well,
announcing anything.
I mean, it's almost April, though. I mean,
I mean, it's a business, so I mean, I don't see how they're gonna not announce people and not expect people to. You need people to know who's gonna be there, then they'll buy tickets. Like I get people want to get in early, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you need to at least release a few.
That's what I'm
names.
saying. Yeah.
So if
literally
you're-
nobody is named under the tab speakers. It says speakers. Podcast movement features some of the most
that
successful,
makes no
inspiring.
sense.
No, there are two that they've
podcasters.
released. Their website's not up to date.
But you need to have a
It's a
lot.
gentleman and a lady, and I'm blanking on their names, but I found it earlier.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about it before, but like if you did like fans of a lot of popular podcasts, they all tour, so you could see Rogan and Corolla and Mark Maron and stuff during their normal tours, and they usually all do live podcasts now. So if you wanted to go see an hour podcast of their podcast, even though that's not what this is about, this is them talking about the industry. I just I've said it a million times. I just what could you possibly say?
I also like on their Facebook group. One of the first rule is like no spam, no self promotion. So you don't want other podcasters to promote their podcast on the podcast movement.
Well,
okay.
to help them though, they mean just you jump in there and then you throw it in there. They'll give you the opportunity, like they have. He'll say like, "Hey, plug your show," and I throw it in there. I mean, any little bit helps. I try. I try to play ball as much as I can without. Being an asshole about it.
Yeah, no, I'll be the asshole. Does it help? Like, even if you like throw out
Probably
your
not.
name, is that how I'm picking my podcast? I'm like, oh, under the podcast movement, someone threw out their podcast. I'm gonna go check it out. It's like there's too much out there. I think that ship has sailed. It's like
with the Woodstock thing, like you got to say who's playing your concert, and people are gonna buy tickets. Like, you can't just say we're gonna have a big concert.
You're right.
Buy some tickets, and then we'll tell you who's playing later. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
You want to finish with two Zach from Ohio's?
Oh, you bet.
I've got one that's really bad, and he called us from the cruise, and then I've got from the cruise, and then I've got one that's worse.
I think I've said Zach was like, "What will it take for me to kiss you?" And I'm like, "For me to be dead." I'm not, no offense.
It's the only time you've made your pop-up proud. He was in heaven. He's like,
I have nothing
against.
I kiss Daniel. I'll kiss Bustecker. But
we've kissed.
I don't ask for any of that.
We've kissed.
My wife
years
doesn't
in a
want me
row.
kissing anybody. That's the whole point.
But you and I have kissed twice. On
I don't
cruise
care
ships.
that it's a guy. That's not the
matter.
thing. I just when anybody comes up to me and like, hey, give me a kiss, I'm like, nah.
After this, you'll understand why you should probably not kiss Zach here.
Hey, Tom and Dan, it's Zach from Ohio. I lost my voice completely the last day of the cruise, and I've almost got it back. I'm like at 80%, I think. So pardon that. But
Oh wait, that's not the one I wanted to play.
Is that the good one?
Also,
No,
don't.
that's the good one.
If you're trying to convince me to kiss you, don't start with "I've already kissed 18 dudes."
Yeah.
So like that doesn't help.
He was on a mission.
Your pitch. I'm saying, well, I'm the one. I want to be 19.
Yeah, it's like meeting a girl and you're like, I'm not gonna say that.
or anybody. Like if you like, I've never kissed anybody. That would be a better sell. Than,
This one's funny.
The old,
This one's
guaranteed
funny.
cold sore.
This is a dual. This is a dual call. You'll get what I mean.
Hey, Tom and Dan, it's Zach from Ohio. Pardon my party girl voice. I woke up, it's 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday on the cruise, and I pissed the bed, and Andrea got all wet.
Fuck you!
So we're off to a great start. Had a great time.
Okay, there's that. And then
I was with him Thursday night.
Your
leading
wife's
into
a
that
saint,
Friday morning.
Zach.
she's a sweet woman. Isn't
She
she?
will.
She's very sweet.
She will only put up with your behavior for a short period of time. Like this is a novelty at this stage.
They've been married 2 years.
Nah, they love you.
Would Zach be mad if I said I
I've been
liked
married
Andrea
11.
more? Would that make him mad, do you think?
Probably.
I mean, I'm kind of partial
Not
to Andrea's.
mad, but maybe sad.
I'm partial to Andrea's, and I like Andrea. I'm Team Andrea.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't have pissed on her, dude.
I love them both.
And I have.
I love
urinated
them
on
both,
my wife
but I just
before.
like Andrea more.
By accident, I've done the same thing Zach's done. I'm there with you. I'm not hating on you. I'm
But
just
have
saying,
you done this?
There is a level where my wife was like, "No more. You cannot do this anymore." And I'm like, "Touche."
How about this? Have you ever done this?
Hey, Tom and Dan, it's Zach from Ohio. I've got a girl dog and a boy dog, both of which are fixed, but sometimes my boy dog still decides to hump his sister.
No.
And it makes me uncomfortable, so we pull them off and say no. I'm like, no, Trico, don't be a horny boy. But now he does this thing where after he started humping, and I take him off, he sucks his dick while he's humping. He starts fucking his mouth, and it's deeply disturbing.
All right. That's yeah.
I don't know what to say about that one.
They're animals. They don't know.
These are they know though. What if they do know? We think they
I
don't
wasn't talking
know.
about the dog. I was talking about Zach.
I mean, we think they don't know, but what if they do know? And a dog, like, what if, like, when you die? You know, I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in anything. But what if you die? What if I died and I go and I'm like, oh shit, I was wrong. And I'm standing there, and let's just say, hopefully, because I try to be a good friend, a good person, and be kind to others, that I am in heaven.
No, you'll never.
And I walk up there, and I'm
Beelzebub.
like, well, this is weird. And then there's some dogs around there, and then I see a dog, and he's like sucking his own dick, and I'm like, whoa. And then dog's like, what? We knew this was awesome the whole time. You know, fuck you.
Okay, yeah. I think the rules are if you don't believe you down below.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or not.
Yeah,
It's,
that's true. That's what they
you
say.
You have to believe. And the right one, by the way. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, don't believe in Buddha.
What if Buddha's the
Who
right
knows
one?
what the right one? Yeah, you're right. Buzzdigger's right, though.
You could be right.
It's a
but I mean,
gamble.
the likelihood.
Always bet on Zeus.
There's no way it's
there's
Buddha.
a lot there, yeah. You go back long enough, there's hundreds. So
Just
you gotta
believe in
gamble.
all of them.
It's the roulette. No, you can't believe in all of
Why
them.
not?
No, that's against all of them.
Says who?
Says all of them.
It's not Buddha.
Each one says you can't believe in the
It's-
other.
It's not Buddha because there's no way God has big titties. Unless it's a woman.
Right.
All right, let's go.
But even then, I think that she'd have little titties because she'd be in like really good shape.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, like I'm.
It always disturbed me. God
Sorry,
is a,
obese people, but I don't think God's obese.
yeah, he's a fat old biker. Looks like Santa Claus. You're like, really?
No, I don't think he's fat. He's just like.
I think
He's just more. He looks like.
he's old.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Paul Senior from
You're right,
Orange County Choppers.
Yeah. He's got the six pack in the outside of his Duke belly.
Yeah, he's some hard living, but he dialed it back in his later years. Fought in Vietnam, helicopter pilot.
I feel like
didn't get fucked up. Watched a lot of his friends die. Enjoys a good chili dog on Sundays, and watching his beloved Baltimore Ravens.
I think I'm gonna have to explain this part of my life when I get up to heaven.
You think so? You won't be in heaven.
Oh, big
You won't be in
That's your
heaven.
dad. You'll be fine.
Yeah, the cruise excluded you from heaven. I saw what you did. All right, Samantha.
Plug some
what-
stuff. Let's get out of here.
Samantha.
Oh,
Sorry.
I didn't know what the hell was going on.
We're done with
Why aren't you plugging?
Semanticspodcast.com if you want to listen to my show. Dan's been on it.
Oh.
Bus has been on it.
Is this scam? I think I got a scammer.
But-
Hold on, let me see if I got it. Hello.
Oh, they knew it.
They know.
By the way, we are getting the
we're getting
the
hammered.
technology to I don't know that too, but the technology to because we've been getting inundated with scam calls.
Oh, it's crazy. It's
the robocall crazy.
It's out of control. Like my phone is like almost virtually useless at some points. Like there have been times when I'm getting so many robocalls that my wife is calling through the robocalls. You know, like
Really?
where I can see them both ringing at the same time. It's
no.
insane.
My my garbage disposal has some sort of electricity leak out of it.
Electricity leak.
So
That's weird.
And I tried to.
Are you throwing too many
Call it
cut rays
Ghostbusters,
down
bro.
there?
Yeah.
If
Did you take a sledgehammer to the sink?
if you're touching,
You mean the crackhead you hired to wire it didn't do it right?
if you're touching my sink and turn on the garbage disposal, you get electrically shocked.
What?
Yeah. So you have to stay clear.
Sounds safe.
And you know the best part of this is fucking true.
And my mother-in-law just shocked herself to the point of no, she's fine. She's just scared and you know,
Got a little high.
It's like an elaborate plan to kill somebody at your house.
No, you got to take the
Your garbage disposal shocked one of my birds to death.
You got to take the decorative Christmas tea towels that my wife has out on the oven, and then use that to flip the garbage disposal. Why you stick your pelvis away from the because I had a farmer's sink.
It'll arc. It'll arc.
Yeah, and then turn it on and then turn it off.
Yeah.
If not, if you're touching the sink and the plug at the same time, which I had an electrician look at it. He said it was fine, but something was
Where did you
Nothing
find this
fine about
electrician?
that, yeah.
No, it was just.
Are you swapping him advertisements on the show?
It was wired wrong to begin with. Anyway, it's long story. I'm sorry. She could be in very, very bad shape.
Well, we need to go. On that note, Tom's garbage disposal killed one of his family members. Anything else?
Yeah, Tom and Dan Cruise 2020.
Yeah, tomanddan.com. BDM.com for all things Tom and Dan. $15 BDM shirts right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're the good ones with the brand new logo.
Yes.
Not those crappy
I must have
$10
no, but I must have missed the meeting about us taking the brand new logo with the brand new shirts and then dropping the price down to the point where we
I
can't
didn't
make
hear
money.
that meeting either,
Yeah,
but I
so,
was like,
mean,
all right.
I mean, I don't know why that we did that, but
We're hemorrhaging money. We're dropping prices.
I don't want to like argue now because I mean, obviously it's out on social media and they're $15 shirts, but those are brand new shirts.
Yeah, they're pretty
sure.
new.
Works for me.
Also, we're doing
My check cleared.
the
Oh my
Mellow
God.
Mushroom contest that's going on until next Friday, the 29th. Take a picture when you go and do hashtag TDMellow, and you can get a $100 gift card to Mellow Mushroom.
Oh.
I may go to Mellow Mushroom tonight. That seems like a good plan.
I thought Dan was going there.
I am going.
Go together.
I'll go.
Carpool?
I think I'm going with Andrea and her dad and her stepmom and Maisie.
Cool.
It's Maisie's favorite place to eat. In fact, I have a commercial that I did with Maisie that I will be airing very, very soon where I interviewed her and I tried to get her to do like
A personal endorsement?
I tried to do her like a personal endorsement because I knew people would be like, "You're whoring your child out."
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yes, I am.
I'll do that.
I'm like, yes, I am.
Like, say precision doors are good.
No.
He knows.
The beauty is it's organic because it is her favorite restaurant.
Yeah, I know.
Like she tells all of her friends she likes to go. She likes to get they do an oven baked mac and cheese. That she gets oven baked mac and cheese, apples, and lemonade. That's her standard order, and she loves it.
You go to Mellow Mushroom to get that?
What's that?
They got apples at the grocery store.
Not these apples. Not
this works?
Not these apples. Go out there and dance right now.
I'm gonna get Max to be like Streamline Mortgage Solution. He's like, when I refinance,
I like getting kids to talk about things that happen.
Oh, I'm doing it.
This is good. We're on to the next level of
advertising.
Then we need to get Lil BDMs. LIL.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and like kind of like Seth does at the Jungle. He has the Lil Gorillas.
Oh, yeah.
We do Lil BDMs, and then I'll do a kid show. I'll just throw some crap on there. Baby shark,
Yeah.
And then you
Baby
subscribe.
podcasts. That's where the gold mine is.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on mommy blogs. Some of those ladies are six-figure crazy.
No, but this would be a podcast for babies.
Yeah.
yeah. Only for babies. Yeah. These Carls, they don't pay the bills. Their lives are fucked up.
Yeah, because you know what a baby won't do? Baby won't get drunk and forget to re-up his credit card in the BDM membership. You know, baby doesn't know how to. Once the card's in there, the baby's like, until I can fucking, until my head's not on a fucking rotor ball.
Carl, the BDM, the
Minnesota
long guy,
Carl?
DUI
Yeah.
BDM long guy,
yeah.
gay Zach. It was all.
He's not gay.
But a baby will piss all over you.
He's not gay.
Yeah,
He's a
Zach,
good woman.
a baby, they all piss all over you.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Best fans ever.
They are.
If there's one thing, I just remember my joke for the cruise. I'm like, if there's one thing I know is that we love our fans. Because Tom had these listeners lined up, and he was getting their names all wrong, and I was like, if there's one thing we're known for, it's for loving our fans.
It's fine.
Anything else, buddy?
That's it.
Guys, thanks for listening. We appreciate it, and we will see you Monday for the BDM and OG show.
Yep.
Bye. And Twitch.
See you, George.
We love you. Y'all be good. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Thank you for watching.